Good morning, traders. As we kick off October. Yes, it's one of my favorite months of the year. It's good old Halloween, and we're ready. This market feels like a skull right now after, of course, the government shutdown. And we'll be taking a look to see what happens with the government shutdown, how we can be trading it. Stay tuned right here, of course. Trade the Pool. We got an exciting show. We'll be taking a look into what stocks I'm watching for, some playbook action. And then, of course, we'll take a look to see what else is out there in the space today. We'll talk all about the government shutdown, Nike earnings. Got to get some new Nikes, man. All right, we'll take a look at what's going on in the markets right now. Let's dive right into it and take a look what's going on. And a little spooky Michael Myers start. Let's get to the action. Let's take a look around what's going on. All right, guys. All right, let's take a look what's happening out here. We'll go towards, of course, the screen here. We'll take a look at the SPY as we did trickle down, but we'll see if this is gap down that can actually hold now, and we actually see some downside turn. Yesterday, a fake out to the upside, and I think that's exactly what I ran into. It was a tough day, a humbling day for me yesterday, and indeed, sometimes you are going to get those humbling days. Yesterday was definitely one of them, right? So we'll see what happens out there. Let's keep it going, guys. And then, of course, like always, we'll see if this actually turns us to the downside here. A lot of the growth names now have pulled back drastically, right? IonQ almost down 50%, right? Almost a 50% retracement from the bottom action on that 45 run to 75. It's already back down to 61. That's how these trades are going to go sometimes, guys, and it was looking really well. The trading was almost easy for a little while there, and now they're starting to tame us. But there are some good news out there. There is some stories to trade. We'll talk a little bit more about them right here. We'll take a look at different action in the market. But LAC up higher. This tells me I'm going to be watching what? I'm going to be watching SGML. Talked about it on Trader TV yesterday that what LAC needed to do was just hang out here and then recover 6. Right towards the end of the day, we went towards 575. That should have been my sign to maybe take a shot in this, but boom. It gets a nice lift there, another 48% up there to 750s, and this is going to start to help out different names. ALB, I'm looking to see it recover today. Can it give me that recovery? Did it just do a fake out and now it's going to rip right back up? I'll be watching for it. SQM. SGML, all in play. All these names that we're looking at. Of course, I played this breakout on SGML, was trying to get it to the 730s. It tapped, then started to pull back. Now I'm looking for a recovery of 750, going to 7, then finally getting into that zone and higher. We'll see what happens there in Sigma Lithium and other names in the space. Of course, you guys can take a look at different names out there. There's a lot of names that kind of keep watching this space. We've been seeing names like UAMY. Let's see if this one gets hot again. This one definitely on alert, on the pullback. I'm looking for metals and minerals run again, right? So USAR is the other name that I'll give you guys. And it's already doing a move. It looks like, oh, man, come on, man. I freaking hate this, guys. There's nothing worse than I'm trying to get you guys a stock. I'm trying to look at this for a 1750 break, back up to 18. And then what does it do? It does it literally like right before I'm coming on. I was already looking at this stock, but that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. So now it's going to be a little bit of a chase, and that's where you got to be a little bit careful. But look at the hourly on this setup. It was looking primed to get up into that spot and break higher towards the 18. Now it can reload around the 1770s and 1750s, looking for a continued breakout above 18s towards like 1850, 19s, maybe even potentially getting to $20 today. So USAR on the radar, got the bounce already. I'm a little frustrated on that because literally this was one of my top calls of the day and it's already getting the lift. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. So we'll see what happens out there. Got a lot to talk about. We'll get towards the sunrise report. We'll talk a lot about different stocks that are moving out there. And of course, Nike's earnings. Let's get to that action, of course. Let's talk a little bit more about the sunrise report. All right, let's take a look here. Of course, the sunrise report is, of course, something that we put out on our Discord every single day. It gets you guys ready for the market. So if you guys aren't getting the Sunrise Report already, definitely go ahead and check it out. It's going to be in our Discord, so you don't want to be missing that. Stay up with it every single day. But let's kick things off, of course. And the first thing we got to do is, of course, the shutdown reality check. As Wall Street, of course, woke up Wednesday to a full-blown U.S. government shutdown at midnight, sparking concerns that this one could bite harder than the previous stoppage. We'll see what happens with that, as we did get that little down gap in the SPY. But will that hold, right? The SPY is already coming back, guys. I mean, from the opening action at the 430s, you're already back to 663. This was the level that I was watching yesterday. Would we come and take it down, which was a 660 level? We got close to it, and we just ran away from it. So I think that's the level we'll be watching today. If we go back down there, yeah, watch out. It could be an ugly move. Why it matters, of course. The Senate failed twice on a stopgap funding, and the Republican-led chamber could not reach a deal. The Democrats want to tie up spending to the extension of the health care tax credit. The CBO estimates that 750,000 federal workers will be furloughed right now with this situation. So yes, some people could be seeing some firings or some some furloughs, and definitely jobs are not going to be looking too great. And this also affects, let's say, like your museums and your national parks, things like that could be closed because of this. Trump has floated the idea that permanent mass firings of federal employees if the shutdown drags. Well, we'll have to wait and find out what happens with that. Combine this, of course, with slowing job growth, sticky inflation, and sky-high valuations. This has investors, of course, nervous. Bank and tech leading the decline. Let's go take a look at JPM and see how that action's happening right now. Let's go to it. Let's take a look here. Hendricks wants to be a part of the show, so we'll let him be a part of the show. Just lay down, Hendricks. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look to see if the banks take a little bit further hit. Wells Fargo also down a little bit here. Citigroup down a little bit, and we'll see. I really don't think this is a big hit towards them, but you can see that they're definitely taking some downside action. We did get ADP payroll shock as private payrolls fell in September at 32,000 per ADP, the sharpest drop since March of 2023. Economists had expected 45,000. So just to put that in perspective, August was revised to a 3,000 loss from 54,000 plus. So shutdown now means less real-time data, just as labor signals weakness. So this adds to the recession whisper, but we'll see what happens there. Yes, you heard it. The hard R, recession. Nike, let's go to Nike's earnings, as it's a slow jog, but not a sprint. At least that's what we're seeing in the report here. Nike posted a surprise earnings beat and surprise sales beat, but it turned around, looks like a marathon. The EPS here at 49 cents versus 27 cents. Really good number there. Revenues at 11.72 billion versus an 11.8 billion estimate. Net income 727 million versus 1.5 billion last year, down 31%. So that's where you're seeing the major hit, the net income. They're just not making as much as they used to. Why? Gross margins, of course. Gross margins now down to 42.2, down 3.2 points year over year. And that's where they're losing. Probably tariff situation, right? Or just maybe inflation coming into play. Key takeaways: holiday quarter sales expected to fall to low single digits. Tariff expected to cost 1.5 billion, denting what? Margins, what we just talked about, right? China sales down 9% and Converse down 27%. Is Converse just not in it with the new generation? Because it seems like it's starting to die off. Bright spots in North America up 4% and wholesale up 7%. Restructuring is underway as Nike is reorganizing by sport instead of gender/age. I think this is a good move. CEO Elliott Hill says progress will not be linear, and translation, don't expect a quick slam dunk. So pretty much he's saying that it's going to be a little bit of a slow progress up for them to get things moving again. Peloton pedaling forward as Peloton unveiled here a new product line, price hikes, and a push into commercial fitness equipment. Yes, they're trying it all again at Peloton, and it's trying to get going here. The only question, can it break 10? I'm not too much of a fan of this company, but who knows? Maybe at some point they are a buyout opportunity. That's what everyone's been watching. But of course, what are they doing? They're doing some cross-training machines with AI tracking cameras, 360 swivel screens, and hand-free control. Not bad. Interesting perspectives there, right? The AI tracking cameras, I think, are really interesting in the long run because I think that this will actually help create more and more fitness products that are at home. One of the number one things that I even see with fitness is that a majority just don't know how to work out. One of the best ways to do that, start bringing more AI. And if anything, if I was like, let's say like a Planet Fitness or something like that, PLNT, I've been working more and more. How can I get AI into my gym to help people understand how to truly work out? All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next area. Of course, TLT focus. As we take a look at the rates, what will happen finally? We get up there every single time that we've gotten back up here. What has happened? We run into some weakness and then we start to fall again. This morning, we're starting to bounce a little bit, but that was an ugly candle yesterday. And if we don't get back to 90 today, it ain't going to be looking good in the TLT. We'll see what happens there. I think it's an important thing to look at there. We'll see what happens. It's not a panic move yet, but we'll see if this actually creates some treasury yields to go higher. All right, of course, Lithium Americas, we've already talked about that, but we'll just touch it a little bit here. Lithium Americas exploded another 34% after it said it would take a 5% stake in both the company itself and its Thacker Pass lithium mine. Of course, it's joint venture with General Motors. So this actually could be helping General Motors this morning. If you're wondering why General Motors is maybe trickling up, that could be it, right? They own 34% of the Thacker Pass lithium mine, but of course, the lithium mine it's going to take a while for that to come online. The Energy Secretary, though, Chris Wright, said this is just economic common sense. Why it matters, of course, that Thacker Pass will be one of the largest lithium sources in North America, and the move, of course, ensures domestic supply chain security for EV batteries, but people don't realize it's not about the EVs anymore. It's all about AI chips. Bottom line, the shutdown and plus weaker labor data is darkening the macro mood, while Nike, Peloton, and Lithium Americas are driving some corporate headlines today. We'll see what happens in the market and what we potentially can come up with. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll be getting towards the market open and, of course, to the trading action just coming up. And I'm excited, guys. Have you guys heard about our new competition? Get at it, guys, if you haven't done so already. It's good to see you guys this morning. We'll definitely be taking a look to see what's going on in the market. But definitely, hey, guys, go ahead and sign up for the competition. Competition is going to be coming at you faster than you know it, guys. So I want you guys definitely to go ahead and tune in on that, guys. So don't miss it, guys. Of course, we got the Ackman competition. We don't want to miss it, guys. I want to see you guys there. Of course, beat the Ackman live trading competition. Starts October 8th to the 13th. 600,000 in prizes. Start signing up right now. Don't miss out, guys. If you haven't done so already, get to your dashboard, get signed up. That's where you can get it easily, right? So that way it stays in your dashboard. Go ahead and sign up for the Beat the Ackman live trading competition. You don't want to miss it. I'll tell you what, I'll be there. Question is, will you guys, especially when I'm in Trader TV Live, ready to get after it with the boys. That's going to be a fun time indeed. All right, let's keep going. We'll be bringing on Michael in just a second here as he hops on. And guess what? We might have Steve back in the house. Oh, man, I love having Steve in the house. It's always good vibes with that man, Steve, and always good vibes with my man, Michael. We've been supporting each other, and I think that's the important thing. Like traders, we always got to have a group of traders that can help us continue pushing forward. All right, we'll take a look around out there, guys. Definitely it's time to keep on pumping on and look to see what we can come up with. It's a great day here, guys, and I'm excited, of course, as it kicks off October, new monthly charts. So we can take a look at some monthly charts. I think that's very important. Let's go to it. And, of course, why not bring a little music in the background? Let's do a little charts. All right, let's go to some of these monthly charts. I think it's very important, guys. If you haven't done so in the past, really, day one on the monthly charts is very important to look at. What happened on the month? Well, the SPY went higher. Right? As much as people expected this to be a declining, we've been on a massive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row to the upside. How much more can we have? Well, that's all to be questioned, right? We'll see what happens there. Let's go to the Qs. The Qs also doing the same thing, but even stronger. If you look at this, right, that's a clear sign there. 6 months straight to the upside. It's been a wild ride indeed. We can take a look at some of the big boys. How has Apple done? Well, Apple's definitely been on a takeoff the last 2 months. We'll see if this can continue to ride up. Google also big month up, right? Tesla had a big month for sure. And this is why I like the monthly chart. I've talked about it so many times on Tesla that sometimes people just get lost in the sauce for the daily action because it's very volatile. But the weekly and monthlies were pointing to bullish. And boy, oh boy, did it get bullish. And it's hanging up out here towards the 440s. I thought it'd get back to 400 already, but you can see the strength is strong and it doesn't look like it's turning around. We will see what happens with some other names, of course. I'll be watching different action out there. RKT. We were looking to see if maybe we got some more action there. We'll open, get another lift. Stocks like that, right? Nail, Directions, for the home builders. We got rate cuts. But really, I mean, it's been a little bit of a tough September as things are starting to turn a little bit here. We will find out. Will it turn or not? There's definitely some stocks that have started kind of a major profit taking, right? I mean, this is now starting to be a way bigger move in IonQ, where you might get down towards 30-40% down. So we'll see what happens with these action. It's time to start the show, of course. We'll see what's going on in the market and keeping up action. It's time for Trade the Pool. Start that countdown. Wants 200, baby. You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's gonna be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's going on, guys? Let's get it started. It's great October. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on Michael Noss. What's going on, man?
Another great time to be alive. Looks like you guys' government's taking a little break. I heard somewhere on the news.
You see, they're at hard work right now. They're in the back. You see that guy? There's a nice bottle in his hand. He's ready to go. He's working
That's
hard.
Probably younger than the average politician I see down there.
Oh, shots fired. It's good old Bernie Sanders. Good old Bernie in the back here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's sitting like he did in the pandemic, you know?
I am.
Oh, man. Do you remember that day in the pandemic when they were just like all sitting out there and they're all like separated and stuff? Oh, man.
Oh, I remember that meme. That was at least a nice lighthearted meme. There was no, you don't get many of those, especially when it comes to your politicians, right? So I'll take a lighthearted meme.
Oh, yeah, definitely. At least one we can smile about. The majority of the politicians ones you can't smile about. But the government shut down, and now the question for all the traders is, how do I trade the shutdown, Michael?
Oh, I just finished recording a video that's getting uploaded to my channel, so I'll give you guys the same rundown.
Well, first of all, you got to give them the rundown of where they got to follow, because I mean, if you're not doing it already.
Michael Noss CMT everywhere, including TikTok, and don't worry, you'll never see me dance or do the jig or any of that kind of stuff.
Added CMT is such a plus, I'm sure, because when you go to get like screen names and stuff, it makes it a lot easier.
Yes. I'm trying to find just the name. I always wonder, like, for our kids, how are they ever going to get like an Xbox username or something? It's just, they're all taken. What do you're just going to have to.
You got to get real creative, man, because you'll even be like, you'll search your name and add like 5 numbers, screen name taken. You're like, who the hell?
Yeah.
Who the hell did my name in 5 numbers and still I can't even get the screen name? But all right, let's get back to it. How do we trade the government shutdown and what happens here?
So this one, right? I showed you guys this yesterday, and the beauty of it is, you should never be in a stage post AI where you see a news event and immediately get worried, right? Your first reaction, the main thing I want to do is just to show everyone, your first reaction should be to go to Perplexity. So the prompt here was really simple. I just said, hey, give me every. First off, I said, give me every government shutdown. Then it was doing things back to like 1960s and 50s and whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care. I don't care
Yeah,
about
you
that.
cleaned up
So
the data a little bit.
yeah, I said, go back, give me everything that happened for 1999 or 1990. So it's like
Okay.
35 years. That should be enough data. And you can see, other than the epic one under Trump, that there was a huge 10%. This is the last time Trump did a shutdown. It was the longest in history and made the most money. You see, other than that, it's like a mixed bag: up 1%, up 3%. This one's flat, up 1%, down 2%. So that's kind of what I look at it. So then when I just went back and I looked at the charts. So the beauty of this is you can always go to TradingView, and if you just hit Alt G, just brings up a box. You type in whatever date you want to go to, and it will just highlight that date. So I just went to all these dates. Like, this is what happened in 1995, because the SPY didn't exist in 1990, so I skipped that one. This was 2013, right? A little bit of action ended up. This one was the 2018. So thankfully, I highlighted the area because the government shutdown ended, and then the market fell apart, because this was, I think, a fight with JPOW or whatever. I think we all remember that 2018, 2019, the bull market, then bear market, then bull market again, then it ripped. And then this was 2018, right? So the end of 2000, or sorry, end of 2018 to 2019. This is a weekly chart. You can see how much it just ripped from there. Because I remember this, I will never forget this, because this ruined Christmas. This weekly candle was Christmas, and it's like the market's down 5% right before Christmas. Thanks, Trump. And
Yeah.
then this is just a chart of the average return, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year out. And you can see it even has 1 month here, but it matters so little that the average return 1 month out is like near zero. And then it kind of goes from there. So really, I think the main takeaway here is it doesn't matter. It's a non-event. The market is going to move based off the other stuff. So I think that's where we want to spend our time and focus. We want to acknowledge this is a government shutdown. We don't want to care about the government shutdown. We want to then focus completely elsewhere, even though if you watch the other media sources, the ones that I don't know if we're going to name because they're right, but we all know them. They're not going to shut up about this. This is going to be the headline and the lower third, and everything's going to go, okay, this is crazy. The government shut down. What does this mean? They're going to bring on 57 experts that are going to tell you all kinds of different stuff. But really, all you got to do is look at this chart and say, right, if you took out this one, if you took out this major outlier of 10%, and you just said, okay, worst case one we had was down a couple percent, best case was up 3%, then you look at this and you just go, well, who cares? Right. I'm just going to go back to what I normally do and just focus on what price action's doing, focus on what economic numbers are doing, how's earnings going, what's happening to the Mag 7. That's the main takeaway I think you have to have from this, is that, yeah, it doesn't matter. The government will shut down, will open up. The market looks way more forward than that, than just what's going to happen. Again, most of these shutdowns last just a number of days to a week or so. Not kind of disparaging for anyone who is in work or worried about their job, or if you're a government employee, I understand that definitely sucks. But I'm just saying, from a market point of view, this is just an absolute non-event. It's not a buy the dip. It's not a sell. It's just nothing.
It's just the media headline. That's what
Yep.
it is, guys. And that's what we talked about right off the beginning, before we got too far away from it, guys, that we've heard this plenty of times.
Yep.
And until it starts actually breaking things, I think we don't worry, right?
Well, and then that last one with Trump, that was 35 days. So it didn't break anything in a month. So,
It would take
past
months,
that,
months and
maybe.
months. Like, yeah, like we're
Yeah.
closed for 6 months. Yeah, maybe then, right?
Right.
But I think at the time being, even a month isn't the biggest concern. What it is going to do, it's going to slow down economic data, Now
Yeah.
that will happen. And what does this do? It just gives what? The Fed clearer path to just do what they want to do. So if they want to keep cutting, they have the ability to keep
Mhm.
cutting. And cutting necessarily here doesn't necessarily mean such a negative thing, right? Certain stocks will see this as a lift. So that's why I think it's just more a matter here what? Sector to industry focus, right? See how certain stocks and industries are reacting in the next couple of weeks versus worrying so much about the shutdown, right?
Right.
Because that way you might find the trade that's actually getting tailwinds from the rate cuts. And that is more important to me than any shutdown. And I think Michael would say the same, right? Let's find where the tailwinds are going.
Right, and that's why it's important to do those exercises where you just go and look at the data and say,
Yeah.
okay, is there,
Stuck.
because if there was extreme alpha on either side of the
Mhm.
equation there, so let's say I brought up this chart and everyone was red or everyone was green. Like I don't care. I don't live in the country, right? So if it
Yeah.
was all red, I would short. If it was all green, I would buy. And then again, if I just kind of cut this one completely out of my brain and just look at these, the market up or down 1 to 3%. That's just like a normal random
Normal
fluctuations,
markets. And
right? So
exactly. It's like I don't got
ignore.
to get over my skis that this is super bullish. That's not what we're saying either, but
Nope.
it's just not super bearish either. And
Yeah.
so it's just another day in the market. That's the way I would view it. And you view it like that. And if anything, the jobs number that we just got, that ADP number shows more and more weakening in the job market. So Shells tells us that not I would say it was at 97% chance for the rate cut in the next one. It's probably 99 now. So I would at this point think rate cut coming here, coming soon, and then from there we'll see if we get another one in December, right? So we'll watch to see what happens there. And now the fun part will be, guess what? Those jobs numbers and all those numbers that we're looking for, you can forget about them. They're not coming. So I think at this point, it's just price action that can lead
Well,
the
and
conversation.
I think that's a good point too, because so say this is the last number, this jobs report is the last number that we get in a while because the government shut down. Well, that's probably BS because they should have the data for the other numbers that are coming out Friday. If you don't have that data by now, what are you doing? You
Yeah,
working,
they have the
you know,
data. It's more will they want to release it because they're
yeah,
not working. They're not
it's
getting
Wednesday,
paid.
right? You got one guy's got to prep an email and hit send. Like, but let's say that's it. Well, in the last report that the Fed saw is a weakening job market. So, he indicated, and the market's thinking that there's two more 25% basis point cuts. So if he has nothing that can like spook him on that, that might just be we kind of march ahead. So might be a good time to look at very interest rate sensitive sectors, right? So
Yeah.
KRE always comes to mind, and XBI more importantly and more fun because XBI has just been screaming here recently.
The
Biotech's ever
question is,
since
did you buy the Pfizer dip?
I did. I did. I
That's
put a
my
little bit
boy.
in my
That's my boy. That's my boy,
where
Blue.
are we talking about? I want to say it was like 20.
Yeah, we
Yeah, it
were
was
watching
around
a little
here.
pullback
It's like
there.
2450-ish.
Exactly. That was
Yeah.
the area where we could see it. I was like, if there is an opportunity, it's now. And then I called it like right off that 24, you could go off of, and you got a perfect dip. It went to like maybe 24.19 after that, and
Yeah,
there it
and
goes.
this is again one for the it's the same one I put like Intel in, it's the same one I put UNH in. This is like the don't look at it like I only look at his account usually unless I'm opening it up to make a trade and once a month to like see if there's any, money in there from
You're
distributions or
you're
whatever.
in, man, and then
And
you can literally just use monthly charts. You've seen
yeah,
the accumulation at 23 and 24. If it ever gets back to 22, you get concerned. Other than that, man, this thing is loading in the boat here. I
that's
think
it.
this is just the beginning.
I
Right.
put my stop under 23. And again, it's a small enough position that if that stop at 23 gets hit, which on a percentage basis is 10 plus percent, I don't worry about it. And what I'm looking at, one major thing
Yeah.
is right this anchored VWAP from this high, it's been resistance huge. Every time it gets there,
Long
it
time.
reverses. So now that there's this news behind it, if we finally break that, it means everyone's selling at this VWAP and everyone's shorting at it is wrong. But yeah, this is, again, it's in the same pot as UNH, same pot
Mhm.
as, right? I make the joke of giving it to the kids, but I'm not going to give it to the kids. If I look at that account one day and it's 7 figures, I'm taking it. But yeah, I think it's important to have those accounts. And this, I
Oh,
always
it's
talk
more
about
than
this one.
important. It's more
It
than
is
important, man.
This is a different, I don't have the app on my phone. I don't have even like the automatic sign in where I just, use my fingerprint or something. I have to go to a separate place to grab the password. I intentionally make this broker a pain to sign into, and
Mhm.
it's for what with the one other, I know there's another Canadian in here anyway. It's a TFSA, and that's just basically it's a tax-free savings account, which just means that any capital gains that happens in that account is tax-free. You can only put in a certain amount a year, and there's limitations there. But I put in,
Nothing wrong.
a couple grand into that a year, and then I find something like this, and I just buy it, and I've got a handful of stocks in there that are don't check on them because I think that's one of those trades. Same with the Intel position that I was late to, but I picked some up when it broke. This VWAP here.
Mhm.
So on like $30, I'm in, and my stops well under this base, and it's just wake me up in at least 3 years when the presidents change over. Maybe there'll be some divesting in this if they hate it so much. I doubt that will be the case, right? I doubt the next guy will just come and sell these investments, especially if the things that he's making are working. They'll just change the name of the programs to their name from his name and move on.
Oh yeah,
Business as usual.
that's how it goes. All of a sudden the Democrats will be like, "Oh no, this is actually a good idea."
Yeah. Now that we're in power, this is a great idea. We'll just call it what Biden care or whatever the next guy is going to
Yeah,
be called. Instead of Trump RX, it'll be Biden RX or something. Okay.
yeah, man. It's like the Affordable Care, right? The Obamacare.
Yeah.
It's still pretty much the same thing, but just and why? Because when the programs work, you just leave them in place, right? You can go use the money elsewhere.
Yeah,
Um,
just take the credit.
yeah. Yesterday, a surprise move of yesterday, I think, is I'm looking for strength, right? Because, dude, it was a tough day yesterday. So I think you got to really look to see what actually held. BE, really strong day right back up, man. Holy moly. This stock can't be stopped.
What one? BE?
BE, Bloom
BE.
Energy.
Bloom Energy.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
this had to be news related too. I'm sure this has to be news related. Let me catch what was the news yesterday. A UBS buy rating. No, that was 2 hours ago. Oh, the Wyoming data center plans. There you go. That's what happened there. So BE fuel
Yeah.
cells set to power the new Wyoming plant. So like I've talked about, the powering of these plants, guys. This is one of those where, man, I always am going to look at this one and just be like, man, I should have just jumped on this one because it was a pretty move there in BE. And this has been since 35. I saw this company started to move. And who started talking about it? Good old Elon on Twitter. And then that's when I started to be like, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
that'll
whoa,
do it.
whoa. I said, so Elon's talking about this theme. He knows. He knows what's important. So he started talking about battery storage and how it made more sense than nuclear to begin with. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, leave my nuclear plays alone, man.
I was like,
He's
okay, you're hating nuclear, but you like this area. All right, so I'll just go get this area. And that's what
he
you gotta pay attention to, guys.
it's really interesting, and he's right. I don't know if you've seen the map where they take like a little bit, I think it's Utah. They take like a little corner of Utah and they say if we could store and transport the energy, this is all we would need for solar panels to power the entire United States. And it's just I would love, and I know there's a lot of people that are looking at it,
Yeah.
um and trying to figure out like how to do it, but we just need better battery tech. Like lithium sucks. All the
So
people.
that's why you want to bet on QS, man. So, Michael, that's why QS makes a sense to bet. Because what is that? That's the solid state technology, right?
Is it still lithium though?
It is. It's it's
Yeah.
it's it's solid state. It's just a different how would you say it? Man, you could see I was bad in chemistry. It's a different state, right? Of how
Oh,
lithium
okay.
is like put into the batteries. So it's like literally like a hard solid, and so lithium breaks down like less as fast than it would in those other batteries, right? It's like liquid lithium versus solid state lithium. Um,
Yeah,
so
because like a
that's
personal
the
just
technology that needs
anecdote,
to happen.
right? I'm getting solar installed on
Yeah.
the house, and I talked to them. I said, "Well, what about batteries?" And they're like, "Eesh." She like grimaced, and she's like, "It costs you about $15,000 for about half a day of usage on your house, and your insurance premiums skyrocket because you can't just put out a lithium fire with water. You have to use like this chemical foam, and
Hmm.
again, just seems like, so they're like, for a car it's no problem because your car catches fire, you just walk away. If it's your house, it's a different beast. So yeah,
Yeah.
one of these, I know, Samsung on their phones, they're using or in China, they're using like some sort of graphite or something that might be better. But that's the next, right? If you find, because we can
Yeah.
make all the power we want with solar, we just don't have anywhere to put it. So if you guys out there watching this, if you guys come up with, there's like a little penny stock out there or something that's showing some promise at a non-lithium alternative, I'd be interested to research it for
Did you
sure.
take a look into the Tesla Powerwall and the Tesla solar?
I did, not as big up here. But the problem is lithium, again, if it's too cold for too long, it doesn't work as
Mm,
well. So
yeah,
you have to store it in your house,
yeah,
at
the
least,
Powerwall would need to be on the inside.
yeah,
Kept
at least up here. So again, I told them, I was like,
it's
put in the
interesting.
hookup for it,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it out down the road.
Down the
Right?
road. There you go, my friend. All right, let's take a look to see what else is moving on the day. Anything that's on your radar. Yesterday, I thought the surprising like turnaround was the Nvidia move. It was looking like it was driving the boat, and then all of a sudden just kind of stopped. But it's not far from yesterday's high, and it's just kind of pulled back a little bit here. I think that's the stock to watch here.
Yeah, and you notice your lack. Speaking of lithium,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Of
this
course, I'll
one's
be looking for that to kind of keep going.
Yeah, this one's definitely on the list, right? It's coming up to this high right here. You can see the algorithm. My swing trading algorithm wanted it at 501, and it just stopped like at 520 and then ripped. So that sucks, but just the way it goes.
Hmm.
That was kind of interesting. And then this calm, the Cal Main Foods, nice little just gap down on earnings. So this one might be like at a view app to view app kind of fade move. It's really, really strong name overall, but just been over the last month or so pulling back pretty strong. So it might be one of those time to buy the dip because it's getting right into this prior low right here. So that might be an interesting little bit of a dip buy.
It will be a watch, I think, to look at. I'm looking at SGML, and a lot of people are trying to call targets in this space now. What's going to be the next one? What's going to be the next one? I told people stop looking for so much targets. Look for maybe some sympathy plays. But I'd like ALB if there is another one, right? So if there was, it would be another one. I would think it would be ALB. So that's the one I'd keep on radar here. It just did like a nice little undercut. It was just at 90. It's back at 81 today. I'd like to see attempt to go to 80 and then get back up there. But SGML, what do you think about that one?
That one, it's nice looking a little rounded bottom here. If it can get back through like 725, seems to be the
That's
key
it.
there.
Yeah, the seven spot really. You get back up there, you're going to be pushing, and it's a throwback look, right? We broke a longer term trend line. We broke up. Now we're reloading, and you did see some volume come in near the close yesterday, which I think is important, as you probably got some closing imbalances there on the buy side, and the
Decent
MACD started to
little
turn
short
again.
float too.
Yeah, decent short flow.
MACD.
That's the one
Let
thing
me
I saw too. Um,
take a look at the
not as
MACD.
much exposure to the U.S., right? But when you're talking lithium, there isn't that many, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's just you guys don't have much, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the reasons that lithium sucks so much, right? Is that the most people that have it are not friendly. Right? You've got a lot in Afghanistan, a lot in China, right? A lot in the
Chile.
Chile, like
SLI is the other one that they're mentioning in the streets, just to put it out there. I don't like it, but I'm gonna give you the name, right? You know what I mean? The volume's there at least if you want to keep an eye on it.
okay. Man,
SLI.
look at these. So this is something, again, this is my latest kind of focus after this video I sent, the study of this is that MACD V. So the
There you go.
volatility normalized. Look, the cross happened kind of right around here on this one on the weekly.
Yeah.
And SGML, the cross happened right around here on the weekly. What on that candle? So right around here, right where it is now. It's getting interesting, right? I was never a fan of the MACD before. I was more an RSI guy, simply because the numbers changed based off the security. But in this case, there's a clear overbought and oversold level, and the way the math works is anything under 100 is going to be statistically abnormal. So if you wait for it to get under 100 and then cross, then you're buying pretty clean dip. So more of that. I haven't proved it to myself yet. I just kind of read a study that someone else did, but that's always the beginning of a new trading philosophy, right? Is you
Always a new beginning.
read works, and then take a look and move from there.
Yep.
Text mentioning Mara. I noticed a big crypto pop after the government shutdown. I guess, like, look at that that's Bitcoin overnight. And if we go to an hourly, right, this is probably right where so Monday, Tuesday.
I notice more and more how Ethereum, you got to buy it on extreme moves. Sell it on extreme moves, buy it on sell it on extreme rips, buy it on extreme lows. That's the way it works with Ethereum, man. Ethereum was just down there, and now it's right back up, right? That's just how it works. We'll see if we go salting.
Yeah, well,
I like the
I wanted to
monthly
go, like, a
chart.
lot of them kind of look the same, right? Ethereum, we had a big pop. They all happened right on this candle, right in this candle at 8. So I don't know why, but and then also Solana, right? So they've all popped. Solana's being a little bit relatively strong here, and then of course the one true king saved me from getting stopped out just barely. Like I had to stop under 50, and it ticked down to 53 cents, and now it looks like it might be popping. But if I just go to the crypto part of my watch list here, I've got all these kind of segregated here. We don't need international equities right now. We don't need FX. We need crypto. Yeah. So if I scroll down here on the crypto side, you can see green across the board. There's not a crypto that I follow that I down. Oh, that's down. Oh, except sheep with hat. Sheep with hat is down. But we've got Peanut up. We've got Link. We've got Pengu, right, across the board. All these things are rallying. So being a crypto day, we need to start taking a look at, obviously, SOLT. The reason we look at crypto from the currency side is because you want to get all of the trading. You don't want to get these arbitrary stops and starts that you get from looking at the underlying equity, but we're trading the equities. So SOLT, that one might be interesting. We have ETHU or ETHE. There's a lot of options here. Or what I might be interested in, like the BMNRs and the SBETs, all these treasury companies, are these going to get a lift? Because this SBET chart is really interesting to me, just where it has this nice tight base right here. It's just been hanging out for a while. So if Ethereum is going to continue to rip and SBET gets above here, do we get another one of these crazy runs? We got to remember SBET was like $150 or 10x from here a while ago.
We will see. I think BMNR, of course, on the watch. We'll see if it gets back above 56. I think it's this time where it's going to be tough. It's not going to be just easy here now, guys. I think it's not going to be easy sledding for the rest of the year. So just be careful out there.
Well, that's a good point too, because if the market just closed right now for the rest of the year and people were just looking back at what the returns were, it's a great year. Right?
Great year. So at this point, you got to think about it, right? Like, yeah, maybe you're not up 19 because you didn't start at the bottom, right? 19%. But overall, it's not looking too bad for the classic, S&P 500 year and returns. So what happens is a lot of times when you get to those average returns, some people will just start hedging their bets. Like, I'm going to secure this percentage for at least now. All right. I can maybe make some more bets towards the end of the year, but I'm going to secure it. Right. Here's the market open, and I'll give you guys a little added bonus with the market opening. My man, Steve, in the house.
Oh, what
You
a
know
bonus that is. What's going on, man?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Well, now I'm up. How's it going, guys?
There's only one way. Wake you up, my friend. Be careful.
Sure.
It could be a little bit of a spooky morning. All right, guys, looking for some trades. I'll get after it today. I can't be shy, but yesterday definitely a little bit humbling day. It was a $700 swing type of day for me. Tough to deal with sometimes. When you're up close to 400, I went down 300 on the day. So $700 swing, a tough one to go through. Humbling. Now, just get back after it. Know that I was trading good, just got a little greedy. That's it, right? And sometimes you got to keep it to that. Follow the rules, get back on the track.
Yeah, so first move here off the open before we get
Here's
our
a
buddy
name jumping.
Steve, what we're
Call
watching.
it UAMY jumping.
Oh, this one's been a thing.
Ooh.
But yeah, just hanging out, right? So pre-market highs at 664, pre-market lows all the way down at 660. So until, right, we're in the middle of that, and until one of those things happen, just make sure you're not going too crazy.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, what are you bringing us? What are you looking at?
Right now, I'm just looking at SPY ripping here. For me, 660,
Whoa, yeah.
50 was a big pivot. If we can clear over that in the opening, let's call it an initial balance, I think that we have a chance to push to all-time highs this week. Just going to be watching that, and then the gap fill into pre-market highs there, 664.70, which we are approaching pretty rapidly.
But Steve, the shutdown. But the shutdown, man, the shutdown.
Should I be scared? I'm sorry. I was just watching my charts. Should I freak out? I don't know what's going on.
You should. You should be running around your house screaming in panic.
I see. Okay, thank you, Michael. I'm adjusting to the correct level of panic here.
All right, guys, really good trade to start it off here on the day. Let's see if we can get this to continue ripping higher. I'm about to take the profits here, guys. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, come on. Come and take me. Come take me. trying to get out of UAMY scalp right out the gates here. 1,000 shares up about 200. Just looking for it to break the 720s, take the money and run.
Yeah, nice work. Nice little spike off the open here. Seeing that kind of across the board. Everything's looking a little more bullish. We still got a way to go to close the gap, but you know, it's the gap is also the high of yesterday's range. So if we're looking at it, really what's happened over the past 2 weeks is about nothing. But yeah, so I'm with you, Steve. We get through yesterday's high, or we get going here, we could rip through easily. We could rip to a new all-time highs, and the bears cry again.
There we go. Looking really good now, guys. Just secured 180. Looking for it to rip a little bit higher here. Got up to his 250s. Could keep going. There's 240s.
Nike. A little move on Nike there off the open after a good earnings report, but it looks like it's given a little bit of that back potentially.
All right, guys. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Now that's a liftoff. Let's see if we can just cash this. Just trying to cash at the top right now. If I can get a 730 fill, I'm willing to take it here. Get out of here. UAMY. Sorry, I didn't have the chart up there, but look at that liftoff. Right, so I'm just trying to get out now on the offer. Just getting no fills on the offer, man. That's tough sometimes. All right, just going to get out here. Looking for the spread to tighten up.
Man, Qs are still
There we go. Good little rip out day. There's 740s now available to me. Trying to cash here. Come on, man. Give me a fill.
So I just took the tiniest short. I just want a
Good
little bit of mean
Lord.
version, but I will get out if it sweeps back over that.
Come on, man.
Short on what?
Just on cues, just looking for time
Okay.
mean reversion. And this is just off of the kind of fill of the pre-market highs there.
Good Lord, you're not going to give me a fill?
I'm already about to take half off.
Scalp, eh?
Scalp, and I'm bored. I'm not bored. I love being with you guys, but the setup doesn't spark joy like some do. So, I want to make a little bit of money.
If you see a little edge,
It's not much.
take it, right? You don't need.
Now, at least it's a win if we get stopped out here. So,
Not every trade needs to be a slam dunk. Sometimes it's like a warm up, right?
yeah, that's the idea.
I'm so annoyed, man. No fill there in between the spread. Just so annoyed. Had 380 there. Was just sitting in between the spread. I don't know why I didn't get a fill there. It definitely ticked up there. I don't understand there. No filling. That's just annoying as hell. It's a little frustrating trying to hang in there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's not. It's not like I'm not green. I could take it right now, but it's more like I had like 380s available there, and I'm just like trying to get out. I even put it like 1 cent away from the bid. Couldn't even get out. So it's low. It's low volume. So I'm gonna give it to that. But at the same time, I mean, I think I should have got a fill there.
Yeah,
that's one of those classic. They didn't want to fill me and give me the money. ALB shooting up out the gates. I like that name. It just like undercut the 82s, now coming right back to the 83s. If there's one name I think the U.S. government can still look at, it's this one.
Yeah.
Starting off pretty good here. SGML also going there. I'm going to try to grab that one on the swing account. I can't get too afraid. Just got to keep looking at what I can go after. That's one of them.
SGML, is that lithium? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was looking for it today towards 7. Already kind of missed 30 cents, so that's a little frustrating, but I'll look for a little pullback here to jump in the party.
Heard that.
On that UAMY, it's back to break even on me. I'm just at that point, like it's just frustrating, but I'll look to see if it can bounce off of the VWAP. Don't know how I didn't get a fill there, but hey.
So I am seeing the slightest amount of slowing of this bullish strength up into this gap close. Might see a little bit of a return to me in here, but hard to be overtly bearish yet. I'm just kind of, this might be a watch and wait morning for me, which I feel like a lot of Wednesdays are.
Yeah, trend fighter, man.
I'm a trend fighter. I mean, like,
battling the trend.
I'm getting too caught up in the 1 minute here because gotta watch close when I'm on stream.
Yeah, the gap fill looks like it's relatively over, but we need to get still a while to get green. So when I'm looking at these, RSP being green is very interesting, showing that it's big cap tech weighing us down for sure, with the Qs kind of down the worst. So this is why you're seeing like Mitch going into all these other sectors, because it's not a real day to look at those big guys.
Yeah. Tilray, FLNC, and SGML leading my watch list. BE also leading my watch list. Tempest going higher. Rocket going higher. That's one that you could look at, Rocket, guys. I think that's not a bad one to look at. Why? That's just tailwinds, guys. Tailwinds of course, the action that's going on. It's not a bad one to look at. I might even look at it on the swing trade. Because the thing is, SGML is just a little too far from me here. I need some type of pullback to lower 70s.
Rocket is really nice. I like that daily chart.
Yeah.
That's a pretty candle there.
Yeah, I was watching it yesterday, and it just didn't give the move, but then it undercut, right? And what do they like to do? Wash them before they send them.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what they did yesterday to Rocket. They washed it out. They washed it through the 19. Now it's at 2022. Right? So, yesterday, you were like, oh, man, I just wanted it to hold 19. That's exactly how they do it to you, man.
You get those types of moves. I see them a lot on stuff like that, or on names like crypto miners in particular, I found
Anything that has momentum, Steve. Anything that has momentum, if you're looking for momentum plays, I think the part of it is if you're early, you sell rips. And then if you're late, you have to wait for that liquidity move to take your shot.
yeah,
Literally wait for the tape to look like panic. And then once that panic comes in, you say, hey, I'm going to come in Warren Buffett style. You guys are all panicking. Well, here's the time to go actually buying. There you go.
Well,
Shout
and
out to the old man.
here's another degen option. Maybe all these people from the government, they're at home now, and they're just YOLO in stocks, right? So they're like,
YOLO in
screw
stocks.
it.
There you
Gotta
go.
make money somewhere. Let me YOLO rocket and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Why not? Why not, man?
COVID all over again, where everyone was just sitting around looking for the crazy one du jour to play.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a 20 touch. Pull back to 20 would be that area, or like 1990s where I can get into rockets. So don't want to get up here at 2020s. Just trying to get good entries today, especially on the swing account. Kind of messed that up yesterday with
up
Bull.
with
I was up
BKT?
big on Bull and then didn't take the money and run. And just to that mention, I'm not even going to trade Bull because I know that's recipe for disaster. Because if it goes well for me, yeah, you're back in it. But if it goes bad for you, you start to get revengeful on that Bull.
is that one of those tickers that you have a personal
I mean,
issue?
yesterday I
Was mean to him
was
yesterday,
betting
yeah.
Coin. I was like betting brokers, IBKR, and Coin did amazing for me, over $700 win.
Nice.
But I went to the lower quality name in Bull because I was like, oh, it's lower priced. I can go get that one in the swing account, and it ripped. It went to 16 in a hurry. I was up like 300, and I'm like, the rip. Like the way that it ripped, it looked like a short squeeze. So I was just like,
Yeah.
I'll kind of hang in here.
Take a look at this MSOS here.
No,
right? Doing
stop.
A little bit of that.
She's dead to me. She's dead to me.
Little undercut, little rally. Maybe perking back up again.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
It got like just a couple ticks under yesterday's low,
Yeah,
and now turning
just
green,
enough to cut me
moving
out
up.
at 486.
So no, I'm still in my MSOX. Right, this is a longer one for me. I've got like a stop down here in the sixes, but
Your MSOX.
I'm in at like 9 or 8.59. So I'm definitely underwater on the trade, but
do I get back in it?
and then PSIL has been kind of interesting here too, just grinding higher and breaking through. Come on, drawing the AV WAP from all-time high. So looks like people like drugs today.
Drugs.
Not semiconductors. Semiconductors are down, so don't do AIs, do drugs, I guess. Just trying to see.
But
Healthcare names, man.
Oh, solar breakout. Nice breakout here on solar.
Solar.
It's so fitting that that's happening under the current regime when solar got destroyed under the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a matter of rate cuts, guys. Right. These companies depend more and more on rates than most people understand.
Well, and then the other thing that was funny is coal just ripping under Biden, who was more like a green energy president. Coal just still going.
It's pretty amusing, yeah.
Well, it just shows that
black gold
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do we have anything else today? ISM at
nothing that matters.
Top of the hour. ISM manufacturing.
Oh man, that UAMY play, I'm just like sitting in it now, a little red, and I'm just like beyond annoyed.
Oh yeah, pulling back.
Like there's no reason for me not to get a spread fill there. I don't understand what happened there, but that's just how it goes. That's how my luck is going right now. That's why I'm trying to keep things simple.
All right. So the first trade on Mercury FinTech Holding Inc.
That sounds like a high quality company.
It's pullback play here. Got filled around right here.
I'm kind of entertaining getting another short in here, but Playing with fire.
Steve came in just mad and bearish.
Not even bearish. I don't know. I just want to take. I don't know. I'm seeing weakness, and I want to be involved when it's a pullback trade. So then I'm like, oh, the pullback trade's over. It's time to go long and not be away from my computer like it seems.
Come to the darkness. The darkness calls.
Maybe the pullback entry was just that. Maybe it was just that 3-minute red. Maybe that's all we get. that would be fitting. I'm standing here waiting for it. And
starter in rocket. When you need a rocket, just buy rocket, right?
Which rocket? Rocket Labs, Rocket Mortgage, Rocket Pharmaceuticals,
Rocket Company, baby. The only one, the RKT ticker.
So let's see if this little wick does have follow through. My theory is that it does need to pull back a little bit, and then we can kind of test and see where we're feeling, how we're feeling at 598 on QQQ. So just a little bit later. I just want to know it's real.
Well, this D Pro.
Know it's real.
Tack is pointing out this D Pro is kind of interesting. This would be one of those hangover plays from Kevin.
Oh, D Pro, yeah. No, I love this one. I mentioned it a while ago, and then somebody was like, "Hey, didn't you talk about this?" And I'm like, "I sure did," and I didn't buy it. Looks great.
They got a government contract or something.
Oh,
for drones. I think that's what yesterday's gap was.
Okay, that sounds bullish. I like drones.
Yeah, Dragons after UX selects Flex drone system. They have a Flex drone system, I guess, in the US. Again, I think Mitch is on to something with the theme is just buy government things. Speaking of, how's my Pfizer doing? Ooh,
beautiful.
All right, I'll take it.
With that being said, MP undercut 66, just trying to recover VWAP.
Yeah, that one I think it needs to kind of flag out sideways a little bit. I'm still involved. I took some profit.
About USAR.
How's it doing? I traded that last week off the 9-day.
I like it. I like that the reclaim of 18 right there.
Oh, wow.
I really do like that reclaim right now. I'm watching it. Beautiful. I'm watching it. It was on my alert. We talked about it earlier, Steve.
Man. Listen, all right. Well, I was looking at getting involved yesterday off of the.
Wow, what a wick. I need a 1770 pullback right here on this 18 move, but it can go really fast. That's how this USAR goes.
Oh, yeah. And that's been really building up power under that 18 to 19.
It's
really, the 19
USA rare earth. If Trump doesn't buy this one, I don't know what to say, man.
I love that we're on the same page here. We're like, it's got it in the name. This theme is hot. Let's rock and roll.
And the tape tells me that someone's thinking the same thing. So
I agree. And the chart, it's just a combination of everything. And
it just pulled back. The 750 reload here. 750 is definitely your support. That goes. Be careful, but. It's trying to break above this 18. The key is it does this move a lot where it's like slow, super ramp up, slow down, and then ramp back up. I got caught in this move last time. I was super loaded up, Steve, right towards the 18 breakout, 600 shares, and it just ticked me out break even. So this is that type of name where you can't go break even too quickly because you'll just get stopped out. They'll just be like, oh, well, we'll just spread it out right quickly, take that, and then send it higher.
Do you think that's a component of a factor of it? I think it has pretty high short interest, and that's what it kind of feels like trading it to me.
Yeah. So you're fighting the. There's a lot of walls on this stock, right? Yeah. When you see it move, 10 cents, you'll see another wall. 10 cents, you'll see another wall, and so you got a lot of overhead supply.
And we are getting this rollover that I was looking for on Qs. So now it's time to test the open. And I never
starting to come back a little bit, right? There's your chance.
Yeah, pulling right back to VWAP here too. I'm telling you, if these companies I'm buying that the government's getting involved in keep ripping, I'm gonna just change my background. It'll be like the giant socialism flag. I'll just be marching socialism on the street.
Man. That's basically socialism, right? When a guy comes in and says, "Hey, you have to do everything I say." I guess it's not really what he's saying, but it's interesting.
All right, looking for this USAR. It's getting close to entry. Just need a little tick back here to 70.
Okay, and let's see where we're going. I'm watching pre-market lows here. If we sweep this low here and we don't make some progress pretty soon, I think we go down to the next one.
Oh yeah, look, we're getting going back to the close.
Yeah, so
all right, back to the open here. Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. My short.
Yeah, it's the VIX. I think you got to keep watch here. I'm liking this USAR
I'm taking my
opportunity.
trade there because it was a nice win.
Just
So I
looking
think
for
we
one
have
more.
room to go further.
Since I'm in Rocket here, I'm just trying to slow it down a little bit here. I think Rocket looks great here. I want to add a little bit to Rocket, not too
All
much.
right. I just closed my short because it was an option. So
All right, did you hear that? That was the low of the day. Steve just called the low of the day. Now
no, I
he's
did
closed his
not call
short.
low.
We are ripping from here.
I did not call low of the day, guys. I'm scared for a bull right now, because I wanted to buy that back test of VWAP, and then I was considering taking the trade off there, and then looking for a long, and then it just knifed. I'm like, whoa. Ah.
I'm really just I think we're range bound for a while here.
Yeah, that's the
Eh,
key. The key is chop. Chop
you
is the
know,
pain trade here, not bearish. I think it's chop. So what
yeah.
you got to do is you got to be looking to sell rips, right? And when you get a rip like I did in UAMY, you want to get out. Here it comes USAR for that 18 again. I did get the 70s look there. It just didn't hit exactly 70s on the offer. It was like 74, so I didn't step up. But USAR looks like it wants 18 there. We'll see if it gets it. I'm going to go back to SGML and those types. I'm sticking with those names today, guys. The minerals and metals play. That's
Like,
what I'm going to
Well,
stick with.
and I think that's important to talk about too. When we say chop, we don't mean just leave the market entirely. It's
Long SGML.
you understand that there will be pockets of the market that do fantastically, and you should focus on those. There'll be pockets of the market that suck. That's how range bound markets happens. You have some sectors going up, some sectors going down, and then you just need to understand what environment you're in, so you're not like holding for the fence. You're kind of understanding that you take your money when you get it. We had a great period of time where you could buy pretty much anything and be up like 10% the next day, and I just think that might be chilling out for a little bit. So you find those pockets that are doing well. You go around the horn every morning. Is it drones or quantum computers, or right, what is it that we're doing today? And
it's
just
fun, right?
understand.
It's like a big puzzle. That's one of my favorite parts of the market. Kind of figuring out, okay, what's working? What's the meta
Yeah,
today? It's like a video game that gets a new patch every single day, every hour.
exactly.
It's great.
Absolutely.
All right, looking for cup and handle pattern on USAR, up on UAMY, but I'm not even going to call it up until I cash that. In SGML, added to Rocket on that pullback. I like the way this is looking on Rocket. Just need the market to come back into play, right? So taking some shots out there.
Yeah, I don't know, we're just flirting right here with the open, which is also a big pre-market support. So that makes me a little bit worried on taking anything here, just because
Yeah.
that's a range that seems like we could digest for a while. And remember, we have pretty big number, not a huge number, pretty big number coming out in 7 minutes. So
Oh, we do. Right, you're right.
yeah, we
So
got
I was actually considering getting back involved short, just off of I'm working on. I'm not using your exact VWAP system, but I'm working with anchored VWAPs and multi-day
good.
VWAPs.
Yep.
And a little low anchor of the day down here did technically reject for me, but
And
let's see.
yeah, so we have, I'll grab it here. So we have ISM manufacturing PMI, and just whatever. I just use the ranking system, and it's ranked red, which just means it is normally fairly market moving. Other than that, I'm not smart enough to know what it is or why I should care, but this thing says I should care, so I'll care.
Yeah, it's
There you
important
go.
to know.
Get after it.
All right, so let's see if this rejection of 597.70, which is like the pre-market pivot, that point of control, that's what I want to see happen if we are bearish. Otherwise, I want to see it reclaim, and probably won't be much of a setup if so. Like you said, digestion is good.
All right, guys. So in on USAR on the day trade side, also long UMY, got Rocket and SGML. So those are my positions out there. FLNC still ripping higher with Bloom Energy also in the green, and that FLNC trade has been an absolute monster, man. I'm just glad at least I brought it up for like like 3 weeks here, and was able to. I was making money in between the flag patterns, so I could just imagine if I would have been able to hold through this bigger move.
And those are the best feelings, though, when you're able to make money while it's consolidating, and you're like,
Oh
I
yeah,
know it's not ready, but
it's
I'm
a
not letting this go.
rinse and repeat pattern. It just kept breaking the support at the gates. It'll break support and then just reclaim it and then just never come back all day long. And it did it like I think like 9 times.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah, those are the ones that when you see that repeat pattern, you can step up a little bit more, right? Because it's literally just repeating. So if it does anything different, you'll know that it's the different pattern day, right? So that's the key there. I think when you have repeated patterns is the best way to get after a bigger size position.
Yeah. I like that. I like that for sure. Those
BAC.
fractals, because when something's working, it will fractalize in its patterns. You'll get the same looks on the 5 minute
This
as
funny
the
thing.
hourly.
I think today is going to be the day where you get this like, oh, everyone's all bearish, and then all of a sudden the tech run comes in. I'm looking for ARM. I'm looking for Nvidia to come back, but ARM is having a decent day to start here. Did you guys see TSM rejected that deal to make half of their stuff here in the U.S. And that's actually doing well right now. So look for some of those names to lead here. All right, guys, there's a big pop there on UAMY. Now, guys, I'm trying to add here on pullbacks. I got 2,000 shares. Let's go. Taking step up. Let's do it.
Bot just shorted some APPS, Digital Turbine.
Oh,
I like that one. I actually like that one. And did a short on it? You said
Short, yeah.
okay. I like
it's up.
long, but hey,
It's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. 31% in a couple days. So it's just, again, mean reversion kind of play is you just just take the other
I
side
think
of
there was like
things
a
go crazy.
old trader. Was it Jesse? Was it Livermore that did the 7-day pattern? I forgot. One of these guys that do a 7 is Williams that does a 7-day pattern.
I think it was Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 days and then looking for reversal.
Yeah, just and it's all ATR extension based, so it's just using a bunch of indicators and saying this is a bit too much. So let's have it chill out just a bit, just for the day. And again, like I always say with these, I'm not hanging my hat on any one trade. I hope I take 10 of them throughout the day, and the net of those 10 trades is slightly positive after commissions, and then we just move on to the next day. But yeah, this one is such a huge move. APPS completed their debt financing. That's a bunch of words I don't understand. Good for them, or I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What's that mean? Like
exactly.
It just means the runway is longer, man. That's all it is. The
no,
runway is longer. That's it. That's what they're telling you there.
Someone's asking about Lulu. I don't know. It's interesting into potentially the gap here.
Undercut and rally stock. Just mention it real quick. Rubrics before it gets away from us.
Yeah, so someone's on Lulu. That's kind of looking interesting into the gap. I just don't know. For me personally, I just can't go. Find me the worst performing stock in the S&P 500, and they get like super excited about that. I just encourage you to look at read some of the studies that they've done on relative strength, and there's so much evidence proving that if you narrow your focus to the names that are the strongest, they will continue to be the strongest for a period of time. And if you narrow your universe there, at least you're hunting in like a fertile hunting ground.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that every trade's going to work, but the stocks that have just been getting hammered, I don't know. But I see what you're looking at from kind of like a short-term daily pattern. Maybe it wants to like suck up into this gap or something.
By the way, I'm playing with profits, but I'm trying another short here. I'm seeing development of the 5-minute candle look like it's going to close bearish. If I was a little smarter, I would have waited for that close, but it doesn't look like I'm getting the move I'm looking for here, which is basically, so we had a big impulse move down on that initial rejection candle. And then we wicked back all the way up into that pivot and gave people a chance to either get out and reclaim for a fake breakdown or not. And it looks to me like they rejected again at that 598.40 on Qs. So that's my thesis here. And I'm playing with profits and I'm looking for extension downwards and to sweep the pre-market lows at 595 Qs. That's how I'm framing this.
Oh, bearish Steve, perma bear Steve, just trying to short the
Michael,
market.
every day I wake up and I say, how can I ruin investor returns?
I hope
But you got to play this song while you're doing it.
Exactly.
I'm coming for those returns.
I was doing the spring draft. Yeah, it's good times.
Good times. Good times.
That was always the weird thing in the great financial collapse, just being like coming in every day, hoping like the world kind of imploded overnight. It's like it's not healthy.
We the bad guys?
Yeah.
We got to make like a Michael Myers Capital where they just come after shorts and then they just like put out memes of Michael Myers. Like
our equity
like
curve is just slowly running or slowly walking towards,
Oh, man.
Pretty strong here. Looks like we're going to get stopped out. It sweeps back through that high.
We just had, so that was the number, right? This candle. That was that, whatever the SM thing. It's out now. So this kind of wiggle that's happening, a little bit of sell down, a little bit of push up. Yeah. That seems like one of those.
Nah.
Market's saying they're happy for me, or they're sorry that happened. Or
Nah.
Deciding. I do see just a bunch of liquidity down there at 6,700, which we haven't fully swept out, and that's just such a big level for me. So I'd like to see it revisited and cleaned up, but maybe we don't need to. Maybe that was all we needed overnight.
Archer hanging in there. Snow doing well. The stock that keeps going, Grail. Talked about that at 45. It's now 61. It's just a hard trade. It's a hard trade.
I remember that one looking great in the mid 20s, and I just didn't stick with it. And swing trade.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, buy and hold if it looks good long term.
MSTR going tells me Bitcoin ain't stopping today, so keep your eyes on that.
SGML's looking good, and
USBT recovering, UWMC recovering. That's another one to trade with Rocket. It's in a flag pattern. SQM doing pretty well too. I like that. That's lithium names. ALB is one name that I'm watching. It's doing really well today. It's back up to 84.50, and we talked about that in the pre-market, how this could just reclaim right back. There's SGML now back to 684s, 682s. Did get some buying there to step up there. I'm going to add 100 here and hold on. Look for this to go through 7 now.
FA's Ethereum's looking pretty good to me. It's a nice flag.
All right, Rocket's still looking good here. Now I'm going to go for the add here, guys, and go for the win. Let's see if I can add what I want to add, which is 150, and boom, I got it right before the 20 break, and now we'll look for the 20 break and for it to run back to the 2040s in a fast manner here on Rocket, RKT.
SPY looks like we're digging in here again.
I know how to get into the Rocket Mortgage building in Detroit because it's right next to the Benzinga building. So, Rocket, watch out.
Hi.
Come knock on the door and let you guys know what's going on with your stock. What's going on with your stock? I know where the CEO's car is parked.
Looks strong, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, we're now above today's VWAP and yesterday's VWAP, and we're holding for at least a minute.
It's one of those days, like you saw how yesterday they kind of just put a little bit of uncertainty a little bit more. Today, I think the day is where it's like, oh, well, you got uncertain. Well, that's your fault for getting uncertain, dude. That's the market's certain, and it's certainly trying to go up higher.
Yeah, we've got the market moving, and Bitcoin, through 117. Let me bring this up here.
I'm thinking SoFi here off this pullback.
Nice push in Bitcoin. We also have Solana ripping. We have Ethereum ripping.
I was gonna say I got involved in Ethereum a little bit there.
We have the One True King trying to rebound here.
One True King.
The fart. But yeah,
The fart.
across the board.
Le fart.
Good here. Going through just my sector list, see what's up or down the most. Tan, of course, ripping. Again, hilarious. I think this is funny every time. MSOS doing well. IBB is also, biotechs. Rip. And PSIL, psychedelics. So
Psychedelics.
everyone getting stoned. What about drunk? There's no ETF for booze? Do we not care about booze?
We don't care about
MSOS?
STV. Nobody wants booze. It's so old.
Go for the 5 break on MSOS? I don't know, man. I'm so annoyed that caught me out yesterday.
Random talking about FLNC. I actually got, so you can see the purple line right here. So we got a trigger in FLNC from my algo yesterday. I think we talked about this on Monday too. Mitch was looking to short, and I was looking to buy if it got into this 1050s, and it hit there. So don't want to jinx anything, but so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, it was the play that we talked about. It was the short-term moving average, and watch it rocket right off the moving average, right? So that's how I like to short them, especially when they're like this top move. I'm not looking for a long-term moving average, the short term. It could be a 9, a 10, something like
I hate to pick a favorite algo because it's kind of like picking a favorite kid, right? You don't do it, at least when they're listening. And then with this one's my favorite, right? It's a simple pullback strategy. You're looking for a rip on week 1, pullback on week 2. You're buying it if it hits your level, and you're going from there. It's got about a 60% win rate and a really good risk reward. This is, again,
I like it. I like it because you're also looking for the advancing shoulders trade on the weekly, essentially.
So you're
looking for 3 green weeks, essentially, but fake out on the beginning part of the week. So I like it.
Yeah.
It's a nice strategy.
It's like longer term liquidity grabs, right? And again, 60% win rate means 40% of them lose, but I'll take that.
There you go. Rocket back up above 20s. Looks good. SDML, green here, but not really ripping. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on that one. I need to get back to 7 on that one really quickly for it to even look really good on the day.
Yeah.
Whatever a VOR is, I just bought some.
A VOR?
VOR?
You're not BORR. You might be in offshore drilling. Congrats.
Biopharma.
Congrats. I like it.
I like that much more.
Congrats, dude.
Offshore drilling for lower prices, I found.
Well, and so we just talked about the setup on the weekly chart. This is the same. This is the beauty of fractal things, is once I built this weekly setup and traded it for a year and it ended up working, this is the exact same setup on in a daily chart, an intraday chart, where you're looking for a big strong move yesterday and then a pullback into, here you go, Steve. I got to put this up here, into the 50% fib retracement of yesterday's range. So that's why that was right. So there's a whole bunch of, like machine learning nonsense to why this candle and not that one, that kind of thing. But every day just spits out up to 40 potential trades, and we don't know which ones will pull back or not. But if it gets halfway into yesterday's range, there's a 54% roughly chance that we are higher from there than we are now. So that's what you'll see with a lot of these trades like that, whatever the MFH was. Same idea, right? Just strong day yesterday, pulling back into that range today. And then just play those probabilities over and over and over again.
Smaller name, Pally, going through. That's still doing well. PALI.
Oh yeah,
we're looking at that one.
That's going to be Paladin Energy, I think. Uranium. Or no, that's Pala. Never mind.
Yeah, Palisades Bio.
Oh, Bio again.
Yeah, well, look at XBI, look at IBV.
Pfizer.
This is the market, right? XBI is ripping.
There's your nice overnight 7%. Not a bad move there, Michael.
I know.
Don't
I
look.
don't.
Don't look.
I don't. I know. Again, wake me up. What? Trump's out in what? 3 years? Wake me up in 3 years.
I'll
Right.
tell you, man.
That's
I'll
let,
keep ringing the bell. You just
let me
don't. You
know.
just keep that password hidden.
Yeah, I checked on these once a month again just to make sure that if there's any dividends or anything that are paid. Everything should be on dividend reinvestment in the old school. Right, can't touch it for 20-25 years account.
I like it. I like
Um,
it.
but just in case, right? Sometimes I open up the account once a month and there's been a buyout or some sort of distribution, and then there's cash in the account, and then I just use that to do the other thing. And then when I do my deposits for uh, it's good.
The
Government allows you to put in a little bit.
the one thing that the wrench that I'm a little bit concerned about MSOS and why I'm not long it right now is the whole fact that if the government shut down, they can't do this whole cannabis descheduling thing.
Oh yeah,
They can't really do that if the government shut down.
That
I
might
don't.
put a hitch in their plan shortly.
So
Well,
that's my
but
thing here. But
the
that might actually lead to the squeeze. I don't know. I really don't. But
well, that's what. So I'm betting. I don't, again, obviously, no one know for sure that when it actually passes, that will be probably the top, right? When everything's through, it's just generally how markets work. Is you get a big hype
yeah.
up into this thing, and then you end up selling the news. What is my APPS moving? No, it's not a good call, Tack. I'm short. I'm not long. I'm short. But yeah, again, I've taken what? So we can go through the horn. MFH. Right,
rocket.
that one. That's not working. BCAX. Short that one. It's about break even.
There is one working.
APBS.
Coin, man. Coin again.
Short that one's not working, and then VOR. And that one's about flat, right? So it's about, and again, this is generally the way it works. Is I've gotten myself conditioned that during the morning I will be down money. Just how, because I'm buying and selling all of these mean reversion systems is generally during the load in period. I lose money, and then at some point, hopefully at the end of the day, net, right? I've already got 5 trades on. There'll probably be another 5 or 6 more throughout the day. That net, you end up going. So again, what I'm always looking to do in the trade the pool accounts, which is not a problem in my own account because I know the drawdowns on the system and I just kind of let them go, is trying to walk the line from how big can I get without hitting that stop down, considering that if I chart my equity curve throughout the day, it generally looks like a pretty big, kind of like this chart, a pretty big drawdown in the morning, and then hopefully it recovers and turns green by a little bit by the afternoon or by the close. So yeah, it's always trying to walk that fine line of how low can that thing get and still do okay without hitting that stop out. And that's the kind of problem I'm going through now, which is if I size too large, I hit the stop out, and then I look at my personal account that's green by the end of the day, and my trade the pool account stopped out, which is annoying. If I go too small, then I'm just not trading big enough to make it worthwhile or to be able to pass anything in any reasonable time or anything like that. So and I go on these ranches to tell you this is what I think about as a quant, right? It's not about what trade's working next. I don't know what trade's going to happen. A trade will just happen. Right?
Yep.
It's how I work. So I have to think of all these other higher level things I got to spend my time on.
All right, guys, starting to get a little bit of a downturn there. The SPY is still looking well. The VIX is still looking well, but my stocks are starting to pull back a little bit there. RKT pulling back a little bit there. Now in the red there for SGML also. They pulled back fast here. So, of course, as soon as I tried to adjust the stop there, it grabbed me real quick. Out on rocket there, and I have a feeling now it'll just probably rocket off of me. And there it is, right off the low. As soon as it hits there, it's right back up there. So we'll see if it gets back through the 20. Just not finding it today, guys.
Long on a ZURA, which is another bio. A lot of bios today. Zura Bio Limited. Again, the same idea. Massive day yesterday. Pulling back here pretty nicely today, so got triggered in there at 391. So pretty much right where it is there. All right, I'm gonna pop over to your screen, Mitch, and just duck out for a
Got
quick
it.
second.
Not a worry at all. All right, guys, looking around, trying to get back into the green, man. The day trade account is just frustrating me. That UAMY should be up close to 300, 400, except I'm just sitting in the red. I hate sitting in red. IBKR doing pretty well there. Coin was a pretty good call yesterday. Made like $700. Maybe should have stuck with it today, but it's doing pretty well there. Rocket still looks good there, but got cut up on that 1980s attempt there to come right back down. Could still hold in there and then finally come back around. So we'll be keeping an eye on that name. SDML came right back up. Looking for it to get back to 7 today. If it doesn't, got to get out of it. Got to get out of it. Got to keep the loss short today and got to keep it small because yesterday definitely that $700 swing in this account, not fun, but just trying to keep it pushing. Still in the green in the funded account, but just trying to get back to where I was now. Now it's about making this week a survivor week. If I can just get back to where I was, I'll be happy. Worst part is that, I was riding a nice hot streak, and yesterday should have been another win day. That's where it gets frustrating. Definitely seeing the kind of a slowdown now, right? You guys see it just doling out, the price action doling out.
Yeah.
I think it's big boys, at least for right now. Let me go take a look here. SPY, Q's. Yeah, Q's kind of leading up there. Microsoft is a name that I keep watching, and I'm seeing a lot of big firms wondering what the hell's going on with Microsoft and why it can't get off the ground. So at some point, what does that tell me? They get it off the ground. CrowdStrike doing well today. That's one name that I'm keeping a watch with Snow and those types of names. It's actually doing well. The cybersecurity names, Snow's doing pretty decent on the day.
Well, and it was funny. I was just listening to you.
Zscaler,
These in,
PanW.
but you're talking about everything slowing down now, and it made me think, what's the real max pain today alone? It would be next to no volatility, because how many people bought either calls, oh, they'll get a deal done, or puts, no, they won't get a deal done. And for both of those people to have a really bad day, the market would basically do nothing until the end of the week when most options expire.
I could see that.
If we're talking max pain, that would make a lot of sense. Where
So you got to sell the rips and be careful buying the dips right now.
Okay, but yeah, it'd be really hard to sell with the VIX this low. It'd be a really hard move to actually sell volatility at a VIX 16. That almost seems like a death sentence, but those are guys who are making money.
I got my alert there. SPY is attempting to break out, or Q's, I should say, attempting to break out.
Yeah, you got some other areas pulling back. It's just how it is right now.
Looking good.
Archer not looking too bad. I was watching Joby today to see if it make a run. It's doing pretty decent there.
Bitcoin continuing just a monster today.
Nice. Love to see it.
Ethereum lagging a little bit. Solana keeping up just a little bit, but it's really Bitcoin is the
Taking
king
a little
there.
bit of RCAT long here. Trying to let it just shoot off of this. It's been trying to make a move for a long time above 1050s, so keeps failing it. So I'm going to give it a tight leash here to see if it just runs. Million miles away.
Nice lift off there. Looking for QQQ 600.
Loaded in that UAMY. That's for sure.
Nice.
You're gonna make me a lot or lose me a lot.
Feel that.
It's one of those names. At least I got a good entry. It's just more. It needs to keep playing the pattern, right? So sometimes it's like that. Just needs to keep playing the pattern. RKT starting to get going. That's actually not looking too bad there. So at least trying to abide by also the playbook. That was part of my playbook. I'm like, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. Just give yourself a shot at it.
Right. No, you got to do it.
The worst is like seeing a play, looking for a play, knowing your levels. It plays out, and then you just watch it go.
Yep. And I've really found the best way is if the thesis starts to work in the morning and you lock in a nice little chunk of profit, get yourself a good foothold on a good day. You give yourself the chance to let the play really unfold. And if it doesn't, if you start hedging your own self instead, like, this morning, for example, I was bearish to the bottom of the day and then I got out and I was like, I'm seeing buyers. If I was still on my put, I'd be like tied to this. But now I'm like feeling like I'm seeing things clearer. And it gave me the kind of mental flexibility to look for a long here, where otherwise I'd be kind of tied down.
Yeah.
So I feel like just taking breathing room early allows you, whatever you might be seeing, you can trust it. You can stick with it and let it try to work,
Yeah, I think it's also sometimes prudent to like if you get like some gains and you want to just use that. Like yesterday, let's say for bull, I took the swing trade, but it was like immediate gratification. I was up a pretty good amount. I could have just taken that off and used that profit to actually stay in my MSOS trade. So
Nice.
by using that profit, you can sometimes just stay in a longer term trade that you're trying to stay in, right? For some reason, you just get some quick return. Take that return, right? And I'm realizing more and more how like the battle between unrealized and realized is something that a lot of traders struggle with. But I think sometimes like if we get like these big opening rips, it's okay to sell that rip and look for a dip to get back in. You have to be quick about it. But by doing that, you secure money and then you use that securing of that money to be your risk on the next trade. That's really playing with the house's money, right? So you take money from the house when you get that rip. Like let's say I got it on bull and I was up 300. I could have taken that 300, and when the stock comes back to me, I use that 300 as the risk for the trade. So like take gratification sometimes, and using that gratification, using that reward as your next entry. So sometimes we get a stock and we're like at a level and we're looking for a little bit more. We want the stock to keep going, but we're also at the point where we want to take some money and run. I'm at the point where I used to do half sells on those. And now what I'll do is I'll full sell out, take the profit, say, hey, I made $400. Let's go use $200 and get right back in right now.
Love that. I love
right
that.
back in right now.
And especially it really does allow you to, like, just yesterday, and especially if there's anybody trading options, which I wouldn't recommend because this will be a good anecdote. I wish I did this in my trade the pool account, because I'd be a lot more I'd have a lot more gains at the end of the day. But I made 150% on options. And then I said, hey, I believe in the play. I'm gonna lock that in, which was the right move. And then I'm gonna immediately buy a new roll up, to like basically continue the play. Well,
Yeah.
lo and behold, I was right, but they waited to the last 10 minutes. So my option went from $100 to $40 before then, and I stopped out before then, 8x or whatever, So it just because you can mentally say like, hey, I want to let this amount ride, it's so much easier to do that with shares because then it's like a controlled thing, and you don't have to like contend with a 50% drawdown on the way to your idea being right. Like that's hard to weather mentally. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Taking that
there's-
profit, man. Just too many times I think I've seen my unrealized just get really good in the green, and you're wanting a little more, so you wait instead of taking the profit and just getting back in with that profit, right? This is what I think the algos are doing to us in between when we're doing these longer term trend trades. Also, they're just ping ponging in between us, right? Making the money and making smaller amounts. but securing cash. That's the key
Exactly.
sometimes.
So they always have money to buy the dip. For example, this morning I was biased long, but I missed the opening long. And so then I was like, man, if I was holding this long, I would be in despair mode when they come back all the way and sweep out the wick.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I had just taken the quick long and I'd got in and then I stopped out either break even or hopefully for some profit, then I'd be sitting there waiting to see, okay, well, where the heck could they be taking this? Oh, they're sweeping the, oh, now there's buyers. Oh, now I can try again. Then you'd get the low of the day there on a failed breakdown. So just being able to have that flexibility by having so much cash, by having so much or so little money in the market, that's what's really helping me. I'm also watching Ethereum here because it's trying to stabilize at 4,300, and I'm seeing a big. Somebody just bought 900 of these weekly 33 calls on ETFs.
There's your SBET going higher, so that will help, right?
Mhm.
BTBT is another way to bet on that, right? And you are seeing that start to push now. You're seeing QUBT start to push. We're starting to look a lot better. Why? Because stocks are holding above VWAP and not rushing back to VWAP. When stocks
Yeah,
do
and we've
that,
got
on a runaway.
IWC turn green, which is your micro caps, right? Your little crappy guys. We got RSP turn green. We got mid caps turn green. The Dow turn green. IWM flirting. Q's flirting. So, yeah, red to green again. I don't know if I want to bet that we're gonna have like a crazy standout day. I'm still in that range bound camp, but as someone who's long a lot of things, I'm totally okay being wrong there. If we are gonna rip.
Yeah. So I just added to RCAT and
Mm.
then putting an immediate stop.
I just added to Ethereum here.
I'm on ads and then immediate stops right now. So the key there is that I'm at this point where I'm like, the trade should start working now. If it doesn't, tells me get the hell out. Trade doesn't start working right now, it means sayonara. I got to get the heck out of here. MSOS back down to 486. This is where I would be adding. Remember, this was my original entry, 46. That was the entry yesterday that I got rid of. I can get back in here now. The key is just what's going to happen with the government shutdown. Will Trump want to get in the news while the government shutdown is and then just maybe mention cannabis is going to get done? I have no idea, really. You'd have to take that type of bet here. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one to call for sure. Support around here definitely still holding in, but could do an undercut over 470s. Find out. This is my big bet of the day. UAMY. This is my big bet of the day, guys. We'll see if it works out for me. It was up earlier, like $300, $400. So I'm looking for another pop here off the sevens. Let's see if we get it. If not, it's going to be a tough one. USAR also still in that battle. We'll see what happens with those two.
Okay, we got Ethereum starting to look for that breakout here.
All right.
Constructed.
Here's one that started to go, guys, on the swing alert. Alert is being triggered. Valet. VALE.
That's one super interesting for the implications. They are Valet is, oh shoot, what do they mine for? It's something important. They're out of Brazil.
Yeah, I think they have some little combination. I think they have some. Is it uranium and copper? Let me just see.
It's definitely copper. Yeah, nickel, copper, cobalt, and precious metals.
There you go.
Iron. Oh, they're iron. They're the biggest iron ore producer. That's their main kind of thing. So they often move with iron trades, with steel trades as well. Obviously, steel and iron correlation there. USAR is also looking good, I gotta say.
Actually, like that valet today. I'd have to take a little bit of a pullback, but it's not a bad looking trade. The key there, it's a long-term trend and turn. It's back in the green for that UAMY. We're loaded. We're looking for a bigger move. Let's see if we get it. RCAT trying to get going, but hasn't really lifted off. I have to stop right underneath it, so I'm giving it the chance to either lift or get me the heck out.
Yeah, copper has been interesting. A lot of people talking about in chat. Been slow grind in copper as a whole and CopX. Sadly, there's no like good copper ETF, but
Yeah.
CopX, like take a look at. I don't know if you guys looked at where is it?
CopX.
This thing in a while. This is just nuts. This is copper miners just in on a daily chart from August. Just 50% gain, no pullback, no reason to sell, just rip. So yeah, it's definitely been metals and mining, right? You can do XME is a good one for that. It's doing the same. XME is your metals and your miners, so it's going to have a bunch of gold, silver, steel, palladium, all those, and then a bunch of miners around it. And look at this from the April lows, just 100% a
Wow.
double, and just in a straight line. Like there is
The
no
easiest trade of your life. Yeah, that's what's
that's
killing me.
that's one of those. Yeah, you put a moving average on and
You forget about it.
man, like set an alert. Let me know when it breaks like the 20-day, and you just walk away. And a
I
couple months
mean,
later, you've doubled your money.
And when you
we
have a strong mover, that's what you do. Because look at BE, for example. What a heroic 21.
Oh, don't bring up BEA. That's a little sensitive topic for
I'm
Mitch.
sorry. Oh, no, no.
35.
I've been away for long enough that I'm missing the lore. I got to go back and
Dude, we
rewind.
called this one in 35.
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry. That one hurt.
35.
You rubbed a little sore spot there, Steve.
You hit it hard. No, but FLNC made me the money, right? Remember, I used it as an indicator. I turned BE into an indicator for FLNC. I just said, you know what? The relationship will keep playing. This is the favorite for sure, BE, but the smaller stock is FLNC. And so you ride that wave and you wait, and PE just kept ripping through highs. I was like, FLNC's coming, baby. It's coming. It's coming.
This is like, I'm not a big moving average guy. Like I for like predictive value or anything like that. I've tested them, but as a mechanism to keep you in a trade, I think they're great. Because just imagine, right? This is a 21-day I just hucked on there. If you said, give me a close under that, and then all you have to do is set that in your trading view or trend spot or whatever, you can say, the first day that we close below the 21-day, I'm exiting the next morning. And if that's your only decision, then you're not even looking at this thing from 35 all the way up to 80. And we could do the XME, right? And maybe you got wiggled out here. That would have sucked, but it still would have been a 60% gain, and just things like that. Or, and then all you do is you customize this to how long you're looking to hold. Right. If you want to be in it for a long time, you use something like the 50. If it's just a scalp trade, maybe use like the 10. I don't think these numbers truly matter very much, but you can just adjust them to your trade size. So you don't see moving averages on my chart because I don't use them, but I love them as that kind of metric.
Yeah, ratio charts, things like that. And the thing that we saw earlier, remember I started talking about black gold and how all the minerals kept going higher. And this just seemed to me like that's why I was worried about inflation, because I saw those metals and minerals just all going higher. And it seems like we're in a cycle of that. That doesn't seem like it stopped, right? Like it could keep going. That party can keep going in XME.
Well, and this is, so you can do in trading view or in trend spider, it's a cool little tip. You can just right click on any candle and you can put a trailing stop indicator. And this one here is just what is it, 10%, right? Or you could do ATR. You can do it a whole bunch of ways, but you can just say, and then you can set an alert for that line, say when it breaks that line, let me know. And this thing just kind of trails the whole way up. I've seen a lot of people use what's called super trend, which is just a lame name for an indicator, but
dude, it's a super trend indicator, bro.
Yeah,
super. How can you fade that?
Here's a pop on SGML. There we go. That's looking good, guys. I want to add, but I'm not going to, man. Like the ad recipe is the disaster. I'll take the 500 shares I have.
Yeah, USAR is getting flow on 20 and 21C weeklies and 20C for the 17th.
Lots of volume coming in on those mineral plays. I think you keep watching those mineral plays.
I think you're right.
One that hasn't gone that could take off, right?
Wow.
It's on the pullback. You.
Are you still in SGML? That's breaking out right this second.
Yes, I'm literally long at 500 shares, 676.
Beautiful breakout there. This is the big level though that's going to test.
Big level. This is where I sold it last time on the rip. So when the LAC move, Steve, I had LAC before the big rip, and then I just said, looking at all the charts, SGML was the best looking chart. We rode that up. We sold it in the 7s, sold it at like 710 Would have wished I had 730s, right? But hey, now we're looking for another 7 attempt, right? Get your gains when they're out there. Try to get back in. Don't forget these names. That's where I think a lot of traders sometimes do on these trend trades. They get the first trend trade, and it happens to me all the time where I'll get the first trade, but then I don't get the big breakout.
Speaking of breakout, not to talk my book too much, but MindMed's going here again.
MindMed will give you also insights on
50%.
cannabis. It's kind of funny, but it will. So with this and the way the market's working today, I'll go and step up in MSOS now, right? Because so many factors are starting to come into play. Let's go for it. Let's see what we can do. SPY right at the top. VIX looking like it wants to melt down through the 33s. Let's see if it'll do the meltdown. I'm going to keep it really tight on this MSOS. It needs to get to 5 in a hurry. I'm long here. 489s. Going to risk off of the 483 spot. So I'm only risking a tiny amount. It needs to go instantly to 5 and start showing us that it wants to run away.
Not sure how I feel on my Ethereum A here. I just trimmed my weekly just in case, because quick 30% gain. I think it still wants to do the breakout, but it's just clearing out stops and kind of chopping around on the top of the 15-minute flag.
I want to see RCAT now take off, guys. At this point, it's like it needs to just run. Not just get the heck out. There's no need to fight.
What a SPY new highs. Let's just go through everything is green except the SPY, right? We got the Qs green, we got IWM green, small caps, mid caps, equal weight. It's the SP 500 keeping us down, which usually means there's one kind of sector. What is it? XLF? I called it. Yeah.
Nice. XLF was showing a lot of weakness yesterday too.
Yeah,
I think it's more defensive from the open. The consumer defensive names, they're down about 0.6 from the open. Financials are known to come down a little bit. They were already being talked about, so they're kind of break even right now in the last 15 minutes. So I think you watch especially what's running in the last 15 minutes. So the last 15 minutes were being run by real estate, industrials, technology, utilities, basic materials, pretty much everything almost turning green. Cyclical's almost green. Communication services, even energy just slightly pulling back down. That's actually a good thing there. You're seeing that come down. Cyclicals might get another lift here. Auto manufacturers doing well. Auto parts, apparel, residential construction. So those names are doing pretty well here. Let's start to see a bigger lift here.
Yeah, it's just looking to see, right, what sectors are holding the SPY back, because it is the only thing that's not green right now. So even the IWM is looking good, looking strong. The whole market is having a real good day here.
All right, starting to see a little dip here. That tells me just to be on alert and just keep things really tight right now. Things should just keep working in directions. I don't expect many fake outs because they don't want to let the longs in. They should let it rip if they're going to really send this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm keeping stops pretty tight right now. So recent lows, especially on like, let's say a 5 or a 15, I'm looking for those to hold on many charts. There's plenty of charts that it looks like that. All right, there's RCAT starting to get back to 1048. So now I can put out again that 1040 stop. I can even add, but I don't want to add until it really breaks out above 1050s. That's the breakout to 11, and then it's a quick move to 11.
USAR, I cannot pound the table loud enough on this stock right now. What a setup.
Yeah, I have 1,000 shares of it. Don't worry. We'll be okay, Steve.
Easy, brother. I know. I'm speaking to the choir right here. You put it on my radar, so thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. We've been watching it first, and it's kind of loading up. If you look at the weekly's pretty also. I like the weekly on this. Symmetrical triangle, got above, not holding.
Mm-hmm.
Recently was at 20. But yeah, that's a good looking chart here. I'll show you guys it. Let's go.
And Mara, just quickly looking interesting. So WGMI is leading the sectors that I'm watching. Mara is looking interesting. So I just quickly went and looked up the short float, and it's 30%.
Yeah, it could go crazy. Mars,
So
Michael, we forgot about it. The Wi-Fi stock that I brought
we
up
talking about
yesterday.
Wi-Fi.
Look at that bad boy go.
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi, man. Look at Wi-Fi. WYFI. White fiber that goes with core weave.
Oh yeah,
Look
fiber
at that
guy.
bad boy.
Yeah.
You're just out here weaving.
Inside day yesterday, or like a little bit of a fake out because you went above it, but you closed right into that. It just ripped out the gates today.
Yeah, I'm debating this Mara for my own.
There's
Again,
right back to 1040.
I already own for my retirement account a whole bunch of WGMI. I bought just on this solid candle breakout. In hindsight, it was like just a mega obvious trade. That was an all-time high breakout. It's a real solid candle. So I just picked up there. And that one's doing well, but it's like just that Mara. I know if Mara moves, WGMI is going to move with it, but just looking at that for like maybe some extra juice on the trade with a 30% short float.
Well, Michael, it's like the Platonic ideal, right? Because it's like the whole idea of this trade is torque and like, you know, catch up, just leverage. I feel like, you know, it's like, oh, rate cuts. Let's go, baby. Let's look through the dumpster and see which of these is going to move. Oh, which one's tied to crypto? Oh, there's so many reasons to like these. And then you have like in that basket, Mara is like the best representation of that. Like it's just left in the dust, even compared to Riot, I feel like.
Yeah.
In terms of being late to the pivot to data center type plays. Mm-hmm. So I love it as a you know me, I wake up angry. I want the
want the world to burn. But one thing and Mara's doing that the crypto treasury nonsense too, right? So they're going to get those people in it where they're no longer a lot of these are doing zero crypto where they mine it and they sell it right away. And Mara's, I think like last year did away with its zero crypto policy where it's mining and it's just hodling it and then selling bonds and debt or whatever against it.
Hold it.
So the way that SPY is kind of playing out here, I think that we're probably range bound today, and I think they're probably going to trap people, and most of the good trading for intraday is done on the indices. We will see if that's the case, but I would imagine revisiting VWAP here and not doing a whole lot for the rest of the day. It looks like it's time for crypto to shine here this week.
I think we're gonna break the 66666.
The spooky level. you joke, but I know you're not really joking because that 666 has been so responsive, and whenever Q's,
it's crazy, man.
666 handle
66666, dude. I don't like that number.
My mind's super. I love it because here's my idea: if we find price acceptance at SPY 666, we will algorithmically yeet up to QQQ 666. I don't make the rules. I make the rules.
Well, and the bottom in the SPX in 2008 was like that spooky number as well, right? If I remember
Michael, where do you
correctly.
think this thesis has originated? You know.
I like it, boys.
Yeah, the low is 666.79. I remember people talking about that for years
because it didn't get the 666.66. If it had confirmed under the 66 cent handle, we would have gone to 66.6. I don't make the rules.
Well, guys, start getting the tinfoil hats ready, baby.
There's that, and then the plunge protection team. We never been talking about the PPT for a while, but the 666 conspiracy from wackos have just been hilarious. And it was you like heard it. This was obviously pre-Twitter and like all this kind of stuff. You heard this for years. I think I actually joined Twitter in 2008. See if I can find this because everyone started talking about. That's like when FinTwit started in 2008 is everyone just went to like rant. Yeah, look at this. Joined December 2008. So I think that was the reason I joined was that the hilarity that was taking place, just people talking about the markets out there. And the game was always you drink every time they say double dip recession this whole way up. The market went up like 300%, and there was CNBC would have people on every day saying, "Oh, don't you worry, there's going to be a double dip recession. We'll get a chance to get back in." Like, no shot, guy. No shot.
Yeah,
Lockout rallies are just it's like
okay.
those who have faith in the market gods, they get rewarded, and what can you say? If you're here, you should have faith in the market gods.
Mm-hmm.
And the wrong play today should have just stuck with my coin play, man. That coin is coining today.
Yeah, well,
350 acting as resistance, but
Bitcoin has just been a rocket ship. That's 1 minute. Let's do 1 hour.
let it ride, let it ride.
Yeah, Bitcoin's just been a rocket ship ever since, right? Because this plays into the whole, the government can't trust the government and their money, so let's do internet money that the government controls most of now anyway.
Yeah, I love that. I love that perspective. They're like just like, oh no, but this isn't government money. Did you not pay attention to what happened in the last 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, if they wanted to shut down all the companies that own Bitcoin and claim it, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, no, that's the worst part now. The whole idea of this was for them not to be able to take the money, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea of it was for them not to be able to do it, guys. And guess what they're doing? That exact thing.
That's why you'll see the war in the crypto community, because the people who just want the price to go up to make money, they love that there's the government and the institutions are getting involved and blah blah, and then you have like the purists, like the libertarian type, who are like, well, this is the antithesis of what Satoshi wanted. He wanted no one to control it, so the fact that governments are just controlling everything, it's like
the whole
it's
idea
bound to
is
happen.
not let them in. And we let
Yeah,
them in.
I remember when crypto used to be cool and anti-establishment and anti-government to some degree, and now it's like everybody's like, "Bro, come on, please, president, buy my coin." It's like,
And well, it's the same with AI. Everyone's like,
How it goes.
AI is growing. What tiny company do I invest in AI? It's like, no, you buy Google.
yeah,
Like you buy Microsoft, you buy Apple, you buy the big guys, because they're going to win. You have such a huge advantage that they're going to win. See the whole where this under the ground. I'd say the same thing about quantum computers, right? It's funny. I read a stat that the entire quantum computing industry, if you sum them up, is like $2 to $3 billion. So it's still really tiny, but their expected revenue next year is like 50 million. It's just like nothing. And it's like, who's really going to win the quantum computer race? Like Rigetti? Or is it going to be a Google or a Microsoft with just billions? Like Google throws a couple billion a year at quantum computing, and it's like a line item on the expense report. They just hand it here's 5 billion. Just go play.
A story, guys. I am the first one to bring you IonQ. That was the SPAC, right? And that was Niccolo De Masi. And just to mention it, he just put out a new one, guys. But not Niccolo De Masi, but the King Chamath just put out a new SPAC.
I know. I was about to say, are we all going to YOLO that?
Keep your eyes on that.
It's my least favorite meta.
If we are going back to another ramping euphoric market, yeah, that might be the play.
It might be this return of the
play,
SPAC.
right? If we're going right back to euphoria, that might be the play. But just keep your eyes on that action, right?
What else did he do? He did a bunch of them, but Clove is, I think, one of the biggest that just completely.
Mean,
he's down like 95% overall if he held, which of course he did not.
Yeah, and if you sum up, it's funny. If you sum up all of them, I think he was down a net 85%. So anyone who joined the ship with him and didn't bail like he did, that you lost 85% of your money. Sorry, bro. Do you want to get in the next one? The funny thing,
but not necessarily.
People will get in the next one.
Not necessarily. Let's just be right, also, because there was ways to get in when you had a floor of $10.
Correct.
Right.
But the average.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you bailed when he bailed, which was the second he could, then yeah, you did okay. If you held them for any length of time, you got just wiped out.
The key was the understanding of the $10 bottom. Right. And I think that if you understood that, you played this well, and you made an insane amount of money during that SPAC time. Insane. There were overnight 30-40% every single day for like for like 3 or 4 weeks, if not 3 or 4 months,
It's
and
pretty
it was
crazy.
wild. It was so much that I was like, why the hell are people talking about other stocks in the morning?
Mhm.
Like they'd be talking about like Microsoft that went up like 3%. I'm like, dude, I made 42% last night. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
crazy.
could care less about Microsoft's 3%.
So, you bring up a good point about if we're going back to that kind of meta we were talking about, and
Yeah.
what I will say is that the investor, we are, I think, back to that point where we still care about what Chamath thinks despite that statistic, so
Yep.
like the risk appetite's there. All in is like every week on the top 10 podcasts, there are like 3 of them. Like people want this, so it seems like risk appetite is there. I'm sure not shorting things
I
long
mean,
term.
when I go to different stores and I hear buy the dip being mentioned in
Mhm.
gas stations, might be a telling sign, guys.
The shoe shine. Yeah, my friend just said his wife's hairdresser said that they just bought a ton of Costco because the stock keeps going up, and everybody buys at Costco. That made me nervous. Like, oh no, don't say that.
Oh man, well if they just bought like in the last couple days, they got a nice little pullback here. They could be loving life, but
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
maybe
But
they're
that's how it usually is when you buy at the top, right? You're loving life for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden, what? Stocks go down?
yeah. You
What?
sure it couldn't happen to me? That
What?
happens to other people.
No, so this means I just get more, right?
Yeah. And then you buy
Oh,
the 10% pullback, and then you buy the next 10% pullback. Then it's down 30%, and you're running
the
out of cash.
key is
60% you sell.
you only want to be in a name if you're taking that mentality that you're willing to take it to the grave with you. And just simple as that. And I don't think it's a wrong thing to
Oh,
do.
Mitch, these will be my children's bags, and that's
Yeah.
their problem.
That's their problem, right?
Exactly.
That's their problem.
well,
They're gonna sit
cost
here
is
like, what am I gonna do with 8,000 shares of Mullen, which used to be?
oh yes. That's gone now. I can't even laugh at that chart anymore.
The Molinator.
Me too.
It's
It's
Yeah.
so
done.
sad. That was
It's
that
gone.
was
I
the one you
can't.
pull up, when you
I
want to see a dead
know.
body.
The
It was
Molinator, man.
that was a wild one because the
Mm.
conspiracy heads on Mullen were almost as bad as like the Bed Bath and Beyond cult.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like it was they I need
I'm
to find
convinced that
the
half of
chart.
those conspiracies came from the CEO who was just trying to
There we
load
go.
back
And
up
that
again.
MSOS move, man. Let's load
Oh, is
up the
she
boat.
moving?
I'm loaded. I'm gonna load it now. It's like you start to
Still
see it go,
underwater.
and then there's the load up. Now I'm like, okay, you go to 5 or I'm out. But I'm loaded, and I'm at support with risk 485, loaded up to 491s, 490s. I got 600 shares. I got more than I had yesterday. So
Juicy.
the key there is just now is the time because it's working. This is what I did yesterday, guys, and I really reviewed the rules. And I think whenever you have those tough days, the key is really quickly see what you did wrong, right?
Yep.
And then really quickly focus on what you can do right, right? It's okay to focus on what you did wrong because you probably made a mistake somewhere in your rules, right? So my rules tell me a lot of the times, hey, it's okay to add, but only on winning trades, right? So I want to step up and swing big when I really feel I got it. And I felt like that was a good move yesterday with Bull. But what happened? I got above the 200 spot, my sweet spot where I talk about it all the time. Average gain is 200. Yes, I do get outliers, $600, $900 wins on these swings. But what I'm thinking is every time we get to that 200, we need to set a stop at some point. At some point. It doesn't need to be that 200, but maybe it's 100, right? Securing some type of gain. That's where I made the mistake yesterday because I easily could have taken that 100 gain and kept it for MSOS, right? And so moments like that, I realize more and more when we step up to the plate, risk needs to tighten. You're swinging hard now, so risk does need to tighten, and you need to stay to that point, right? And I think that's one of the hardest things for traders to learn is how to size up, and it's been the process that I think is really important if you want to get those outsized returns. You're trying to really create profitability. You need to learn how to size up, but when is the big question, right?
So just a quick on Mullen. I've been chatting, which I found a chart. Right. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, the 5-year high of this was
Dude, you're gonna get a cavity just talking about this.
$5 quadrillion a share,
That's a number.
because the only thing this company could do, if you look at any chart, was open, reverse split, tank, reverse split, tank, all the way down. And the whole way down, you had people just angrily in your ear saying, yes, it's going to go back to $5 quadrillion a share. Just you wait. And yeah, it was a hilarious time. I even had to ask Perplexity. I'm like, I don't know what this number is. Yeah, $5 quadrillion. So yeah, the fact that no one's in jail because of that is a real wild one, because yeah, someone should be done there.
We joke, but like there is a failing on the part of our SEC when this thing can be an inside joke in the trading community for year on year on year. It's like who fell asleep at the wheel here?
Yeah, someone had to.
Well, guys, I have a decision to make on either I fall asleep at the wheel or do I take money and run. This isn't the eValve, so part of me is pushing it, right? eValves, I push a little bit harder, guys, because you're trying to get a target, right? So like this UAMY trade, right? I'm 3,000 shares deep at 7. So it's like I'm up 415 right now, and I'm like itching to run, right? And so you got to be careful here. But looking to see if this could get the run. The key of why I'm itching is because I do have USAR that's loaded up the boat, and I'm like, man, if that one goes, it's going to be crazy day. But if they both reverse, it could really end this kind of move, right? And so that's when you got to think at sometimes, like, do I just run to the profits? So what I'm trying to do is just stay with the 1 minute, especially with that UAMY, and just riding the 9 EMA. So trying to let the indicator that I like tell me when to get out here versus me determine it subjectively right here.
Mitch, I love that so much, because there's a quote that I live by, and that's a Qualamiji quote. If anybody is familiar with his system, it's really, it resonates with me because it's technicals meets fundamentals. But his whole you're in a working trade. I will never be as smart as my 9-day and my 21-day moving average. So
Yeah.
that's the rules. Those were the reasons I got in the trade, or at least part of it. Against those defining risk against that. So as long as it works, it's working. And if it's not, then you don't want to be in it. So it's such a beautiful thing following a system. Really love it.
And then like in this case, right? So I'm fighting myself. So what am I going to do? I'm going to downsize in USAR. Even though I feel the position's a good position, this gives me the ability to go ahead, downsize right there. I'm downsized. I just took off a lot of the risk. Now I can go ahead and give it room, 105 in room, nowhere near the price action. And look at that other one, USAMY, up 600 now, guys.
And
684s, 714. Let's go, guys. Let's ring the bell a little bit here. We're going to sell 2,000 shares on a limit. It has to be a limit because it's a lot of money. And if you don't sell on the limit, guess what? You're going to get ugly wash on that. So just sold some of that right there, taking a good 456 and still have 1,000 shares to play with. Now I can go break even with this 1,000 shares and just let her work. Let her work.
It's looking so beautiful for 8 to 820. I think there's really, really nice liquidity up there that they're going to want to reach for, at the very least, the 750 pivot.
And this is the classic 9 EMA pullback on the daily, and just jump on that 9 EMA daily pullback, right?
Beautiful.
Just go for it.
Beautiful.
And it's similar space, right? USAR, UUUU, right? All these in the similar space here, guys.
You have volume coming in now too on UAMY, so it should get the sweep of the morning high.
There was an algo that kept coming in here, 4,000 shares up, 4,000 shares down, just like the stair ladder algo that you just keep seeing it. And it fills up, it fills down. It has like a ladder approach. This is why I sometimes say doing your entries and ladders makes sense, because if the algos do it, there's a reason why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason why. They're doing it between the range, trying to average themselves in between the range.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it helps you conceptualize, why did it sell here?
There's USAR now
You know?
Of course, as soon as I sold some of USAR, it's like, okay, now let's get this thing moving, man.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, yeah.
As soon as I sold a little bit. So let's see if this really pops, which is 18. USAR still hasn't really run. It can get to 19 and 20 in a hurry. I still got 500 shares of that, so it's not like it's a little feat either if it really starts to run here. I had 1,000 shares, but we'll let that one go. Market just holding in here, guys.
And Palantir, nice little pop here. Trying
That's
to
good to
break out
see.
of a nice tight
That's good to
range.
see, right? So that tells me
Close to
more and
all-time
more.
highs.
Palantir is a great barometer because it's just so range bound, and
It's
it's
a
a good metric for risk on. Yeah,
Shout out to the FLNC traders. Shout out to you in the chat, my friend. It's good to see you, Rando. It's good to see all you guys out there. Smash it up. I know this is now Michael's joined the FLNC game, so
Oh, nice.
I'm in.
He's
Hopefully
in.
She rips.
I wish he would have got in with me like at 7 or 8 so that I could watch you cash.
That's not what the algo said to do. So
No,
we can't do it.
I mean, it's a pass play. We've talked about these with Josh. Sometimes, like, I'll get the first trade, and then it's pass. I'm passing it on. Michael's taking the pass. Now he's ready to take the lead, right? And so his system says now,
Yeah.
that's okay.
And that's
Get
such
it
a
now,
beautiful
get out
representation
Monday.
of how the market works. Sorry to interrupt there, but just
Yeah.
it like was a light bulb for me because my whole system relies on like identifying different cohorts of traders. Like, oh, these are the scalpers, and this is what they're kind of playing by. Oh, these are the swing traders. Oh, these are the long-term investors. And they're all participating at different levels, and those levels will behave differently based on their thesis. So, I mean, they're passing it off from one to the next two. And it's such a beautiful understanding of how a stock will progress from different, types of traders being involved.
Tightening down on MSOS, it's starting to come right back, and SGML right back at my break even. So I need SGML to start coming into play.
Choppy market as we close out the session, and I think that's going to be the key. That'll be my takeaway for the rest of the day. I think we're in it. We got some big numbers on Friday. Everyone's just paying attention to what the shutdown does. And again, like the data showed when I went over it, I went through every shutdown since 1990. Market doesn't do too much, right? It's a non-event. So make sure you are not really, trying to step on the gas and chase those things. And,
no need to push.
No need to push. Let's wait till things resolve and don't get scared. Don't get panicked. Don't get too FOMO'd and just kind of wait for whatever's next.
All right. Looking good here now. Going to go as it starts to give us a little bit of some pullback. There's the SPY. The SPY said, forget that pullback.
Out of here. Yeah, I know, right? I said, all right, control and talk.
Get that out of here. And another thing is we're seeing the momentum names start to push, right? Like there's momentum back. Yesterday, the momentum died, and it came back to life today, guys. Rigetti is telling me, oh, Citron, I'm coming for you.
And yeah, just to add to that, Ethereum as well, the risk on crypto. So Ethereum is heavily tied to IWM. So I haven't watched IWM, but I would wager a guess that it's probably outperforming the market today.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye on these as my risk on indicators. And then literally I've been joking, like I don't have VIX on my screen anymore. I just put Rigetti, the inverse chart, and that's all I need.
That's a good indicator. We'll see what happens. VXX still kind of chopping around. At some point people were expecting this to get the move, but if you look at the monthly chart, it's just been the declining action continuing. So I think until you get the VXX above 40, there's no really need to worry about downside like capitulation, just getting destroyed, right? So just stay smart, stay safe out there. Realize that at the end of the day, we are getting into profit-taking areas, and then now you'll start to see if there's new legs on in a new bull run. We'll see you next time right here. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. Michael, have a good day indeed, and we'll see what happens out there. Keep up with it, and be careful. The government shutdown is here. We'll be back, guys. Stay tuned. Like always, keep up with